Hello, my darlings. Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone this evening? It's been a hot minute since we've chatted live on here. I posted a few videos, but I haven't done a live in a little while. Not even sure how long the last live was. I'm sure it's a couple of weeks at least. Anyway, let me just quickly have a look, see when was the last time I did a live. Well, actually, no, I was live on Wednesday on Speaker's Corner Online, and I also restreamed it here, so that wasn't too bad. And also I did a quickie on the 13 days ago, 12 days. Oh my God, yeah, it was like 4 or 5 days, I guess, since the last time we have had a chat, boys and girls. How is everyone? How you doing, kids? How is everyone out there? All having a good time? I hope so. I hope you're all having a good time. Yes, Durud, Samadara, Durud indeed. Women, life, freedom. Yes, free Iran. Well, a quick, big up Ultra in his house. Actually, something I forgot to give Samadara. Samadara, I'm gonna mod you up, mate, but you know what they say, with great power comes great responsibility, so chill with the bannings. Nice t-shirt, you look like I don't know, man. I just found it in the closet and I just threw it on because it wasn't wrinkled up. I haven't I was out today, so I haven't ironed anything. Anyway, big up everyone. So what are we doing? What are we talking about? First of all, big up Ultra, the Atheist Defense League in full force. I was on Sultan Harris's today. You were on Sultan Harris's today? Oh, shoot. I wish I'd seen that. Yeah, this is not so much Gucci than Ganucci. This is it's not really Gucci, people. Don't flatter me or flatter yourself. This is more of a Turkish Gucci. The teabag look. Oh, you bastards. You never let me off. You let me... Turkey's Gucci. Exactly. This is a Turkish Gucci. Actually, I don't think it's from Turkey. I think it's Thailand or somewhere. I don't know, man. It's... Look, it was the only thing. I literally just opened the closet. This isn't wrinkled. I'm wearing this. That was the amount of thought and attention that was spent in this outfit. So let's critique of the outfit and more on the subject at hand. Well, couple of things. For those of you who have not been in the loop, there was an individual, which I'm not going to name, who did a 7-hour stream consisting of mostly me at the beginning of it. Apparently this individual was rather pissed because I took the piss from their cringy fucking photos that they post online. And I'm sorry, if you're a person that is of a grandmother's age and you're posting such cringiness, I had a moment of honesty, if you will, that I expressed on another channel, and this person, I guess, took a disliking to it, so they decided to do a 7-hour stream with the first 3 hours of it consisting of nothing but me. But anyway, we move on. Only in the chat dropped some naughty super chats. Who drops some? I don't have super chat on here. You can't drop no super chats. What are you talking about? There ain't no super chats in this. And I don't even have a stream. I don't even have a live stream going on. So this is just going to be mostly me commentating. Hello, Irish. Hello, old school. Oh, I see. Oh, you dropped super chats on Harris's. Shit, man. I'm just catching up. Man, brain is all over the place. I see. Ultra dropped some super chats on Harris's stream. Oh, you didn't actually get on the stream then. I thought you'd log in. You don't come on streams anymore, Ultra. I miss that. I miss the old gang. I miss Valley Vision's Atheist Defense League. I miss you on there. I miss, believe it or not, I even miss like James Jones and all the other people. I actually missed those conversations. There were some good conversations taking place. Nowadays, the conversations are so low IQ, it's unbelievable. And I don't even know what the fuck's going on in Jedi's anymore because I don't go there. So yeah, I do miss those old conversations. Anyway, hello Vava Room and Victoria West. Hello everyone. Okay. What did I want to talk about this evening? Well, I mean, this was first of all, it's a stream to kind of test run my new setup. As in, when I say new, is a new desk. Basically, I built the other day and converted everything onto this new desk. So it's really more for me than for you. It's not me, it's you. No, it's not you, it's me. It was just for me to sort of test drive this little new desk and everything. It's just so much pleasant environment. It's less cluttered. It's amazing. I mean, this feng shui shit. There's something to be said about getting rid of clutter in your workspace. It makes you feel like you feel like you want to spend more time in that less cluttered space than when everything is on top of each other. Don't get me wrong, the rest of my place looks like a fucking Katrina hit it, but at least this little space is clean. Big up Jacko Radio. Jacko Radio, as always, does some fantastic stuff. I've been hearing you've been doing some live streams, Jack. I got to get on that. I got to get on your streams. I'll have to resubscribe though. I'm afraid I had to unsubscribe because you were posting a whole bunch of radio stuff at one point, and I unsubscribed because my feed was getting filled up with all that, and I subscribed through another channel. But now I will resubscribe under the Banksy channel and catch you on the streams, dude. I'm sorry. I know it's a bit weird. Anyway, getting back to my subjects. I keep getting distracted by the chat, and that is a bad thing. Guys and girls, okay, number one, somebody made a 7-hour stream about me. If you're in the loop, you know who. If you're not in the loop, it doesn't really matter. Just ignore this portion of the stream. The problem is, as you may or may not know, that Manny Cinder and this other individual has picked a bit of a fight with Atheist Steve and Simon Lord, aka I Hate It Here. Now, this is a bit of drama, so I'm just going to go through this quickly. Unfortunately, I am not, I am not involved in that little warfare. I haven't taken sides. I actually like both parties. I like Atheist Steve. I like Simon Lord, although Simon Lord can go a bit scorched earth when someone attacks him, and I think he's a bit OTT, but nevertheless, I still like Simon Lord. I still like Jupiter. I still like, of course, Manny and I are in partnership. When we host the Wednesday Speakers Corner podcast, he's my co-host, or we are co-hosts. So, of course, Manny's an awesome guy. So, and in all honesty, if it really does come down to having to pick sides, I will always fall on Manny's side. I'm not going to sugarcoat that for anyone out there. But this isn't about Manny. Me and Manny are still solid, and nothing's going to change there. This is about, I made some comments, you could say honest comments. I was a bit too honest, maybe. I got a bit too relaxed. It was like 3 a.m. and I was just lying in bed, and I this is what happens, man. When you get too comfortable and too warm and cozy, you just let shit go, and it was fun. I mean, it's what we all think. We're all thinking the same thing, and the comments I made was what everybody else thinks. This individual is just cringy as fuck sometimes with their photos, and yeah, thank you, Yet, and so Yeti, and so I let a little honesty out. I let a little honest. I took the valve off the honesty cap there. The comments were, yeah, I know they were funny as fuck. I know they were, but this is not Highland Park. This is just water. But there was Highland Park in there, and I have finished it in my Jahiliyyah. Anyway, so I let a little honesty out. Now, the problem is these individuals, they pick their fights with other people, and they think that everyone has to take their side. And so to that type of comment, I am going to simply give this as my response to it. And this is my official response, if you will, to such people who think I have to pick their sides on when they have enemies, they have to be my enemies too.
President of South Africa.
One of the mistakes which some political analysts make is to think that their enemies should be our enemies.
And furthermore, this is my further response to that.
Or a moral question. But for anybody who changes his principles depending on whom he is dealing, that is not a man who can lead a nation.
Exactly. My sentiments exactly, Mr. President Nelson Mandela. So yes, that is my response to anyone who thinks that their enemies should be my enemies. And if you are the kind of person that changes your principles because of who is on your side or isn't on your side, then that is not a man who can do anything, whether lead a nation or just simply lead his life. So no, I will not change my principles, and your enemies are not my enemies. Just because you wish to pick enemies, that doesn't necessarily mean I have to. 3 decades. I was in prison for 3 decades. Yes. So yeah. So I love Nelson Mandela, and I think he said it exactly. And for those of you who know the drama, I think Ghost Speaker's Corner is deep, thick in all these dramas. But for those who know the drama, then they know what transpires here. For those who don't, it's irrelevant. Don't worry about it. Forget about it. We're moving on. Now, the reason I wanted to make a response to Sultan Harris today, or at least these guys, was because of the Secular Jihadist podcast this afternoon. Now, you guys know, I don't know if you're aware, but Sultan Harris and Armin Navadi, and now they seem to have Vidu Vid on there as well. Vidu Vids obviously was he was a very funny comedic YouTuber who rose to success very quickly, and then he decided, because he had a wife and children, and I guess he had some job offers, or I guess he was doing something that made a bit more, it made money, and he had to be responsible, so he kind of fell off the YouTube. He just shut his YouTube down. At least it's not shut down, the channel is still up, but he's just stopped posting, and he's just completely gone off the grid, or he did for a while. His wife was pregnant. I presume it was to do with jobs and businesses and things to make money. Always money, I think, comes into it, and so he didn't want to be in the firing line of Muslims, because he became famous and he was taking the mick out of some very prominent Muslims, and so I presume he just simply pulled back in order to have a peaceful life, or maybe there was some intimidation. Maybe he had a death threat. It's perfectly reasonable with those things, and he's a man who's just starting a new family, so he didn't need any of that heat. So he took a siesta. Now he's coming back. He seems to. This is like the second or third time I think he's on the Secular Jihadist podcast with Armin and Harris, and they're discussing the usual stuff, and in this case they're discussing, I believe, Andrew Tate, who's also a hot topic, who I will give my take on as well.
Has he really become Muslim? Has he given up his lifestyle? But somebody just pointed out, I'm going to find out that tweet or this video, somebody put that up. He just put up a video like a couple of days ago after his conversion to Islam, where we're just bagging all these guys who he's like, oh, what about you stupid people, people who say, these broke boys who say, oh, all of us have the same grave size, and
Oh, okay. Some people have made comments like, it doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor, we all go to the same grave, we're all going to be broke in the grave, that kind of comments, I believe. But to be honest, that wasn't really what I was interested in. I think it was another comment that Andrew made in regards to, is it 11:11? Let me go to 11:11.
Let's just understand what Andrew Tate is like. Have a look at this video. He goes, look who he considers real Muslims. Have a look at this one. Let me know if you can hear the audio.
ISIS are the real Muslims because ISIS do exactly what the book says. Kill everyone who's not a Muslim and chop people's heads off and set them on fire and be fucking raging lunatics. But if all the other Muslims go, they're not real Muslim because I read the book and ignore those parts. Well, then you're not fucking Muslim because you're ignoring the fucking book.
Right?
ISIS are the...
He's actually right. He's actually right. So basically, at the end of the day, he's actually a conservative. He has a problem with liberal values that recognize human beings as human beings, whether you're homosexual or transsexual or whatever you are. We accept everyone has human rights. No. But the traditional view, conservative worldview is, or these people who want to stay back, their worldview is, no. We're not going to give you the dignity. We're not going to respect you as...
I'm not going to let him. Yeah, he goes on for a bit on this one. There was that little clip where Andrew Tate. I mean, obviously they're looking at videos of Andrew Tate and pointing out hypocrisies, which is plenty of. And in all honesty, I've always said, ISIS. It's not whether they're real Islam or not real Islam. I believe every Muslim who expresses Islam their way is a real Muslim. It's just that the fact that Muslims, quote unquote, real Muslims, don't want to accept ISIS as being as valid as an interpretation of Islam as any other interpretation is that because these group are a terrorist group and are and people want to sort of disassociate Islam from them. But no, ISIS is not any less real Islam than any other Islam. It's simply an expression of Islam. They got their message, they got their ideas from the same Quran as the guys in Dubai, as the guys in Iran, the mullahs in Iran, and the Sufis in Turkey. They got their ideas from the same book. They didn't read a different book. So to say that ISIS is not real Islam is actually fake. ISIS is just simply another expression of Islam. They've taken things and they are actually far more honest about their Islam. Like people like Daniel Hikikachu, who's genuinely honest about Islam. At least no matter you hate or love that guy, you got to give it to him that he's honest about it. He doesn't sugarcoat his Islam. He doesn't try to massage his Islam to fit a liberal Western narrative. He is honest, and this is my Islam, this is what my books say, and these are my interpretations from the words of this book. And so you can go ahead and pretend these people are not Islam, but they are. They're as valid as anyone else. Their understanding of Islam is as valid as any other person who's read the Quran and the Hadith. So to say ISIS isn't Islam is disingenuous. But to say that it's real Islam is also not correct. It's just an expression of Islam. Because unfortunately, when it comes to these religious texts, you can take what you will from him. And if you wish to become a monster, you will find passages to justify your monstrous acts. And if you want to be a peaceful person, you will find passages that will justify that too. I am simply honest about Islam. Islam can make you a monster and can also make you a peaceful person. It's not either or. But if you wish, well, I will say this, if you wish to become a monster by reading Buddhist texts, you have to work a lot harder to be a cruel, monstrous individual from Buddhist texts than you would from the Quran. That's the difference. If you want to be a cruel, monstrous individual and get your excuses from the Quran, it is so much easier. The Quran is so much easier to pick up the segments for you to justify your cruelty, to justify your misogyny, to justify your hatred of the other. So easy. It's like it's like breathing. But if you want to do it through the Hindu texts or the Buddhist texts, you're gonna have to work a lot harder. It's not that you can't, but their ideologies and their philosophies do not press you. You will have to dig a lot deeper, and you have to do a lot of mental gymnastics with those religions or those ideologies and philosophies than you would with Islam. That's the only way I see it, really. Big up, white. So that's how I see these religions, and the same with Christianity, by the way. It's much easier to be a monster through Christian teachings, especially the Old Testament teachings, than it is from Buddhists. But it's harder than Islam. Islam, if you want to be a warlord, Islam will hand it over on a silver platter for you. And this is why it appeals to super uber macho kind of characters like Muhammad Hijab, like Andrew Tate, because it gives them this Genghis Khan feeling. If Genghis Khan, I always said, if Genghis Khan or Attila the Hun came with a religion, it would look like Islam. It would be almost a carbon copy of Islam, because this is the warring. It's like Klingons. If Klingons came up with a religion, I wouldn't imagine it to be too different from Islam. And those of you who know Star Trek would know the Klingon and the Klingon sort of culture. That's how I see it. I see that it is easier to be monstrous and to be cruel and to be warlike through Islam than the other religions, but it's not any sort of you can also be extremely peaceful and extremely calm and philosophical and pacifist through Islam, because Sufis do it. We have living evidence that these people have interpreted Islam in a way that allows them to do that. So the living proof is out there. It's just, I think it's to do with a particular disposition. Now, when it comes to Andrew Tate, yes, he wants to, he sees strength. He determines value in people who are brash and strength and beating your chest and this caveman sort of mentality. Now, I'll be honest, there is something to be said about that, because I think the pendulum in the West has swung far too much the other direction, so much so that men are no longer wish to be men. They are now asking to be women. They are now dressing up as women and pretending. The feminine energy in the West is got way too much. It is, the pendulum has swung far too much towards the feminine energy in the West, and so we have to pull that back, because it's not on for the mere case of that men should be men again, and we should be happy that men are men and masculinity is a good thing. Not just that, it is to the security and the survival of your civilization. We are not that elevated that no other person. There are barbarians at the gates still. People think that there are no barbarians left at the gates, that there are no monsters that will come and take what you have and rape and pillage your cities and your towns and kill your people. Look to Ukraine if you think there are no monsters at the gates. There are no barbarians at your fucking gates, at the walls. There are. And you need men with weapons, with rifles and with spears and with bows and arrows. Stand a post at the gates. If your women are too busy worried about, if your men, are too busy worried about their pronouns than to fight off the barbarians at your gates, you're in the shit. I don't care how many nukes you have. I don't care how many Patriot missiles and Apache helicopters you may have. Your society is in the shit, and there are people waiting at the gates to take it from you. So I'm sorry, that is the reality of the world in which we live in. I've said it a million times, and I'll say it again. You can ignore reality. You can't ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. So for the trans testicles and the pronoun people of the West, and those who have a million different fucking pronouns on and a million different genders on Facebook, the metaverse is not gonna save you from the spears and the bullets of your enemies. You're not gonna be able to hide in the metaverse when the barbarians break down your fucking front door. That's all I have to say about that. Okay. The next, actually, this is a good segue to what I actually wanted to talk about, which was this clip from Sultan Harris. Because as much as I fundamentally agree with Sultan Harris and Naveed and Vidu on principles of secularism, the Enlightenment values, even atheists, God, non-God belief, I am in line with these guys a lot, but I fundamentally disagree with this, and this to me highlights the fundamental disagreement I have with me and these guys at this stage. This is what Sultan Harris said just today.
That's not what they're saying. This is not the whole argument. So you go, okay, so here's a person who says, again, as I say, like if I start identifying myself like, like, for example, Vidu, I say that I am not a Pakistani, I'm not an Indian, I am a global citizen. But then, who comes after me and they says,
Okay. Did you? I think this is the point that you guys have to take note. Let me just play it again, just to make sure it sinks in.
Again, as I say, like if I start identifying myself like, like, for example, Vidu, I say that I am not a Pakistani, I'm not an Indian, I am a global citizen. But then, who comes after me and they says Pakistanis, Indians, they say that, oh no, you're not fucking Pakistani, you're a brown man.
You see, this is my problem with these kind of mentality. I am a global citizen. I am this global ethereal. Just sort of, I just go where I want to go, man. I live on the earth. I don't just live in a country. The problem with that mentality is that, Harris, how can I trust you, or not even me? I'm not an Australian. You're an Australian. How can an Australian trust you to stand the post when the monsters come, when you don't give a shit about that nation, when you don't give a shit about the blood and soil of that nation? If you're a global citizen, then no Australian should count on you when the shit hits the fan and they have to pick up a rifle and stand the post, because you don't care about that nation. You're just going to fly off to the next country that is of comfort, that doesn't have the wars. So how can a person really depend on you? This is why it matters to be patriotic. This is why it matters to have blood and soil. Blood and soil matter for these reasons, because of global citizens who don't give two shits when the barbarians come knocking on the doors. These fucks will be on the next plane out and leave anyone else to defend their own. People in Iran are dying, not just because they want freedom, but because they are dying because they care about their country too. They want to be free in Iran. They don't want to be free in Germany and the UK and Australia and New Zealand and United States and Canada. They want to be free in Iran, because Iran is where their soul resides. It's where their blood and sweat, it's where their ancestors bled to keep that country and maintain that nation. They care about their country. I care about Iran too, but I can't say ever that I possibly could care about Iran the way an Iranian who's lived their entire lives there could possibly feel, because they suffered, they've bled for that nation. I haven't. But I do care about Britain, because this is a place which has given me so much, and I have to defend it, not just for me, but for my mother and my brothers and their kids and their wives and etc., etc. So I am not a global citizen. No. This is where I stand, and this is where I draw the line, and this is where I will fight and defend. So if you are this kind of a liberal, I'm sorry, this is the problem with the liberals in the West, on these global citizens. The fact that they have no loyalty and they are not willing to sacrifice for their fellow countrymen. How can any Australian feel safe in a foxhole with someone like Sultan Harris when he knows that this person is actually he's just a global citizen, right? Fuck Australia. They can nuke Australia. I'll just go to Canada. I'll just go to South America. He has no loyalty. They have no. They will not. Are you willing to die for Australia, Sultan? A country that is giving you so much. I doubt it. You're a global citizen. You're not a Pakistani. You're not an Indian. You're clearly not an Australian. So this is the problem. This is the downfall of the West. Because I promise you, those who come knocking at your gates and knocking on your door to destroy your nation, they care about their citizens. They care about their country. They are not a global citizen. Wherever they'll come from, they will bleed and die for their cause and their ideology. And that's the problem, man. That's the problem. You guys This really hit me. This really hit me because these guys were all arguing about secular liberal values. And for the large part, I agree people should have dignity. People, they were talking about trans issues. Now, I'll be honest, video is much more based than either of these two. Now, I don't know whether Harris Sultan is married with children. I don't think Armin Navadi is. And I think that's why video is more based, is because he's recognized that he has to protect and defend his family. And when a man has that moment where he switches from just simply being an individual looking out for himself to now I have responsibilities. I have to protect and defend these two individuals at the minimum, his child and his wife, if he has more children than this family, to the death. I have to die to make sure that they're safe and they have a happy life. When you have that mental switch, you can't be liberal anymore. Not this modern liberal. It's impossible. There's an old saying: if you're young and you're not a communist, then you have no heart. But if you're older and you're not a conservative, then you have no brain. Because you have to recognize that when you grow up and when you take on responsibilities, these communist wishy-washy ideas do not hold up. They will not protect your family. They will not feed your family. They will not hold up to the shit test. And so you have to. Conservatism is not something that you choose. I think it's something you just simply become, because once you take on responsibility, you have to. And I'm a man who doesn't. I don't have children. I'm not even married. I don't even have those responsibilities. But you know what? I recognize the responsibilities because I have responsibilities to my brothers and my my mother and my brother's son, brother's wife. Even I take that seriously. The fact that even though it's my brother's primary responsibility to protect them and provide for them, I am the second in line to that. If my brother cannot do it, I have to do it. That's how important I see my family to be. So I may not have my own wife and kids, but I still recognize my family has to be protected. And this is something that any man worth his salt should recognize, that you are not just for you. You are for your family too, whether it's your brothers and your in-laws and your nephews and your mother, or if it's your wife and kids. It's just as important. Unfortunately, these values are lost. These values are gone. This selfish concept of individualism in the West has eroded all of these things away. People don't really have that deep sense of family, that deep sense of protecting their family and looking out for the well-being. And by extension from that, you will have to look out for the country that you're living in, the society that you're living in. Because if you're happy living in Britain, are you content? Is this a life that you would rather continue with, or do you want to burn it all down and move to somewhere else? Because if you're happy in Britain, then it is fundamentally in your interest to keep Britain a safe and a rich environment to raise your children in. And if you're a global citizen like Harris here, what investment do you have in Australia or in Britain? Fuck it, burn it down to the ground and just move on to the next country, right? You're a global citizen. You're not a Pakistani, you're not an Iranian, you're not an Englishman or a Scotsman. No, you're just a global citizen. I'll just waddle around wherever I like. I'll just go to the next happy place if this one goes to shit. How can you what country would want that as their citizens? This is to me, that is the core problem with Western civilization right now. Everybody's a global citizen. No one gives a shit about where they live. And that's it. And I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'll even extend that to the politicians that we have. I don't think most of them give a shit. In fact, they are rich enough with the resources to be a proper global citizen. They could fly off to any fucking place at any given time. This is why I don't take people like Ralph seriously. Here's a man who talks about Britain this and the greatness of Britain and lives in fucking Germany most of his years. has properties in Germany and in United States and here and there, and he talks about how he's here to defend the fucking realm. What the fuck are you defending, Ralph? You're not even here. Tommy Robinson, dude is in Spain now most of the time. What happened to defending the fucking realm, Tommy? What happened to defending Britain? Looking out for the British children. You're fucking sunbathing with a pina colada in Costa del Sol. These guys, sometimes it's hard to take these fuckers seriously. When they're the minute the shit hit the fan, they're off to some sunny location by a pool drinking fucking margaritas, and you think, seriously, you're here you're defending the realm. You're standing a post. Where the fuck are you? I don't think any of these people would actually be defending any shit. Most of them are too busy ordering another cocktail from their all-inclusive fucking accommodation in, I don't know, Madrid, Barcelona. I don't know, man. I don't know. Sometimes you think to yourself, these people are so full of shit. They're just peddling. They're just grifters peddling bullshit. Okay, let me get back to some of the other timestamps. I had another one at 1745, but that global one was the one that I really opened this entire channel, this stream for. But there was another segment with Andrew Tate, 17. Yeah, let's see.
Either way, I've never ever seen anyone being so deep. I mean, he was literally balls deep in Muhammad Hijab. Muhammad Hijab was so timid. He was like, oh, there's a superstar here. Right. Like he was sucking up and simping Andrew Tate. Like, now, in that video actually shows you who is the OG. And Muhammad Hijab was just a groupie, by the way. Let me just put it that way. This guy was, I don't know if you actually showed the introduction. Look at the way he's sitting there. It's like, oh, yes, okay, they had the big G's here. Anyway, so I just can't get over the fact that Andrew Tate says that I'm accepting Islam, and he mentions that in this interview as well. He says that in this he says I've accepted Islam because of there's no other religion. It's the oldest religion.
Okay. I mean, obviously, these guys go through, and I'll post the link to the secular jihadists at the bottom of this this stream. In fact, actually, I think I might just drop it in the. Let me see if I can drop it in the chat here, but I'll also leave it at the bottom in the comments section of this stream afterwards when I finish, so that you guys can actually watch the full stream if you want. I mean, it's 2 hours 17 minutes. I myself haven't even finished it entirely. I just I mostly was driving, so I watched it, or I listened to it as I was driving, and then I just remembered these few moments. I think Andrew Tate is trolling Islam at the moment. I think he's using Islam as some form of sort of, because he knows that he would be considered, I mean, they call him a misogynist for the things that he said about women, property, all that. Islam says literally all of that. But the difference is now, before people called him misogynist for his views. How dare you believe in these things? Now, all he has to say is, I believe in Islam, and this is what Islam dictates as how my interaction is with women. This is my Islamic decree. This is my Islamic fiat. I'm simply abiding by the Islamic way of living. Because Islam isn't just a religion, it's a way of life, right? So this is my way of life. And my way of life is now Islamic, because Islam fits Andrew Tate's ideas like a fucking glove. And besides, as I said it on another, well, actually it was the other show last night, or the other night, Islam this isn't like real Islam. Andrew Tate isn't going to stop womanizing. He's got what I call now Dubai Islam. That's what Andrew Tate has. Andrew Tate is a Dubai Muslim. He's not a Muslim like the the friggin' pious ones who go to, I don't know, Finsbury Mosque every fucking Friday. He's not the Muslim he's going to wear that little cap and grow his beard up to his friggin' chest. No, he's a Dubai Muslim. Bahrain Muslim, exactly. Abu Dhabi Muslim. The ones who get Instagram girls flown over from Brazil and America and Europe and then defecate on their chest. That's the kind of Muslim Andrew Tate is going to be. He is going to be the Dubai style of Muslims. And so when Mohammed Hijab was talking to him about praying 5 times a day, Andrew Tate... Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, you have to start praying 5 times a day because that is the spine of my day, and it creates a lot of structure for me. He's not gonna fucking pray 5 times a day. Are you bullshitting me? Trust me when I tell you that Andrew Tate is not praying 5 times a day. If you see him in a mosque, it's going to be a photo opportunity. That's all it's ever going to be. He might even, I bet you any money, he might even go to Mecca and do a little bit of videos there. I bet you any money he's going to do like an Umr. He already shaves his head, so he doesn't have to worry about shaving his head. I don't think Tristan, his brother, is going to go with him anyway, because I don't think Tristan is converted to Islam. So he's going to probably go to Mecca for a photo opportunity. Drink some Zamzam water, possibly Zamzam water, tainted with some camel piss. I don't know. Maybe some Zamzam water camel piss cocktail that they're going to serve him in Riyadh. But nevertheless, he's not going to be your pious Muslim going to the mosque and praying 5 times a day. He's going to be the Dubai Muslim who's going to bang a lot of Instagram girls and defecate on their chest and then buy them a Louis Vuitton bag. That's how the kind of Muslim Andrew Tate's going to be. And the fact is that Mohammed Hijab knows this. Of course he knows this. This is so blatantly obvious that this is the kind of Muslim my Andrew Tate's going to turn out. This is such bullshit. But you know what? He's going to get so much more. Right now, look at him. He was getting a lot of attention from the Red Pill community. A lot of Red Pill, YouTubers and social media personalities were inviting him to their podcasts. Now, I think he has slowly ran that out because the algorithms are killing it now. They're killing... I know for TikTok for sure, the algorithm is just suppressing anything with Tate in it. Even if you type top G on a video that doesn't even have Andrew Tate in it, if you just put hashtag top G on any video, go get a random fucking cat video, post it on TikTok and put top G in the hashtag top G. You won't you barely get 2 views on that video. You get no views because of these key buzzwords related to Andrew Tate. So what he's doing now, he's gonna start hustling the Muslim crowd. He's gonna go on a bunch of Muslim podcasts and increase his footprint on the internet through them, because he himself can't be on YouTube and Meta and Facebook and Twitter and all the rest. Well, he might actually get on Twitter now that Elon Musk has bought Twitter. Maybe that might be a thing. But he's just going to go on a bunch of what's it called? He's going to go on a bunch of sorry, hold on. Someone's guys, don't lock out oneness. I like his shit. Don't forget our midget Tommy Robinson, aspired by Andrew Tate, his friend. Exactly. Andrew Tate was actually got a shout out. Now this is Oneness who put it in about thinking, guys, don't lock out Oneness. I want his bullshit to be out there. So yeah, Andrew. What was I going to say? Yeah, sorry, lost my train of thought there. As far as Andrew Tate's concerned, yeah, he's going to hustle. He's going to hustle a bunch of Muslims. He's probably going to get a bunch of them to come on his Hustler University. He's going to still carry on with his yachts, because all the Emirati sheikhs they've got more yachts than you can throw, than you've got spare socks. He's going to carry on. He's going to hustle a bunch of incel Muslims to come on his Hustler University. He's probably going to get a bunch of them. He's going to go on a bunch of Muslim podcasts. So his footprint on the internet is now going to, have that crowd. So he's got the red pill crowd, which again is getting a little bit. I think those guys are getting a bit worried having him on their podcast, because I think the YouTube and other social media are going to start punishing people who have Andrew Tate on their shows. Because right now, I mean, I don't think on YouTube you can still have Alex Jones on your show on YouTube, but you can't have Alex Jones even on your show as a person who's been interviewed on Twitch. Alex Jones is banned from being on someone else's show on Twitch. And this I saw this happen because I forgot which podcast it was. He was on, I don't know, Tim Pool or someone else, and they had to stop restreaming over Twitch because they were restreaming over multiple different platforms, and they had to stop the Twitch one because Alex Jones isn't allowed even on someone else's show. And they're going to do that to Andrew Tate. They're going to Alex Jones him in that way. So other people who have him on their shows, on their platform, effectively, on their shows on a platform like Twitch or YouTube or whatever, are going to get blocked. And also, as I said, the algorithm is working. I mean, I think he's still all right on YouTube. The algorithm isn't too bad with Andrew Tate's name, but TikTok, it's just monstrous. They have crushed his influence on TikTok, or at least try to. I'm sure I still get plenty of videos that come up on Andrew Tate when I search on my TikTok, but yeah, they are suppressing his shit heavily. But he's gonna grift. He's gonna hustle. I'm sorry, but he's gonna hustle the Muslim crowd, and it is what it is. To tell you the truth, apart from this little rant of mine, I'm gonna let it fly. This little rant of mine. Apart from this, I don't have much else. What's the time here? How long have I been running this shit? I don't even know. How far am I into this? Oh, fuck me, I'm at 49 minutes already. To be honest with you, I think that's a pretty decent time, honestly. Now, I don't know whether I should open a panel. It's usually quite dangerous to do such a thing. Let me see. Can we get a little indicator? Give me a 99 if you guys want a panel, or shall I just end it now? We're at 49 minutes, and I would love, Ultra, if you could jump on. That would be, I would definitely open a panel for that. But at the moment, I'm a bit skeptical on whether I should actually have a panel tonight, because it's as I say, it's always a bit dodgy with the old panel there. Shit gets a bit weird. People come on, and next thing I know, I'm chatting shit for the next 12 hours. And I honestly don't want to be chatting shit for the next 12 hours. I just don't want to do that. I'm happy to not be chatting shit for 12 hours. I would rather just go home and go to bed. So let me see. Give me some 99s out there. Anyone interested? Holy shit. You bastards. You utter bastards. Why? Why do you do this to me? Why must I suffer? Why must I suffer so? Couldn't you guys just not? Just not let me have to fucking open a panel. Just let me be. Let my people go. All right then, you cunts. Let's see who's gonna bite on this fucking apple. Oh, you fucker, Yeti, you fucker! Don't fucking go there. Don't go there. I would prefer to talk about Andrew Tate or what do you call it, or Islam, or this comments I made about the secular jihadist guys, Sultan Harris, or Harris Sultan, sorry, and Armin Navadi. If video vids, I'd rather that would be the conversation. I don't really want the conversation to be about the other person. We need a voice of reason. You fucking sadistic bastards. Old cool McCoy. What is wrong with you, man? What is wrong fucking with you? Why would you do that to me? It's like we need a voice of reason. You fucks are fucking sadistic at some point. Sometimes I worry about these you fuckers. Okay, we've got a bite. Hold on, Mr. Okay. Public annoyance. How's it going, dude?
How's it going, Banksy? Good streams for this last couple of few days.
Yeah. It's I'll be honest. I haven't. Actually, wait a minute. No. It's Open Your Eyes. I thought it was. It's not you that does the streams with Manny on Speaker's Corner 2, is it?
No, I've done one about Danny Roscoe, but that was about it. Then Manny turned all weird with us.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
When we sent the information pack of facts, that's when he turned like the blind eye. Like he didn't want to know. It seems like a lot of YouTubers seem to be scared of speaking the truth and follow the grift, which is quite concerning. Considering a lot of people claim to be about the truth and free speech.
I'm with you. Well, I mean, I'll be honest. This whole free speech thing is not as free as you think.
No, it's misused, isn't it? But I mean, you come up with a good one the other day about people using their following and directing to certain things. Like Andrew Tate, Islam. Now, imagine all these followers decide to follow suit. Like you're saying about the stuff to the far right, PA, Tommy Robinson, the grift, pushing people to the far right. I can see a big thing going on lately with all these grifters with their followers. You got Lee Garrett, who's pushing people to incite doing damage to the infrastructure of 5G. And I've seen a few people have really been done for setting fire to things, These grifters are jobless. These grifters probably sign on, sit at home all day trying to think of new projects to earn themselves money while they're sitting on their asses.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, the thing is, the one rule that nearly universally everyone agrees with when it comes to free speech is that you can't incite people to violence. You can't incite people to damage, to kill, to fight, to do any of these sort of things. So when these guys literally, like you just said, this guy is asking his followers to go and damage 5G infrastructure, well, that is like the quintessential thing that everybody agrees that you shouldn't do when it comes to your free speech. This is not part of your free speech at all.
It's the same with Tommy Robinson only talking about those that have been groomed by a certain religion. I mean, why can't we talk about all the grooming that's going on in this country and we all come together? We're out our own out, you know what I mean? You've got, let's say, the Muslim culture out their own, publicly shout out, and we do the same with our own. That way we're not divided.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. I mean, this is, I think, sometimes Hassan's sort of shtick and frustration is that although Tommy is all about the Muslim grooming gangs, but he's never mentioned anything to do with the people on people like Jeffrey Epstein's list of people. And we know that goes to presidents and royalty and prime ministers of all sorts.
Prince Andrew, for instance,
Exactly. That's what I mean. It's all the higher echelons of society seem to be involved in this kind of fuckeries, as one would say.
It's like he's got a bit of a revenge for the certain community, maybe from his area. I mean, he never streams anything about his area, Luton. It's always around. It just makes you wonder whether there's something happened to his past, whether his area has been taken over by a different, entity, and he's trying to play the revenge game by picking up Muslim grooming gangs. That's how I see this whole thing.
Possibly.
It's a bigger picture in the background, right? But
that's very plausible. I wouldn't go past that at all. I mean, to be so, I mean, don't get me wrong. Again, fundamentally, I agree with Tommy's principles of highlighting this particular crime. And it's true that you can't fight everyone on every front. You can only, you got to pick your battles. And so maybe Tommy's thing is to do this grooming type of style of grooming gang, and then other people should take on the other the Epstein level of groomers or sexual molesters. But unfortunately, you see, I think it's easier to go after Muslim grooming gangs than to go after presidents and prime ministers. How the hell you could literally be assassinated? And in fact, I would wager some people have been actually assassinated by trying to reveal those categories of people who did molestations or whatever, whilst going after pizza shop owners and kebab shop owners is not going to be as dangerous in the long run. Although, I mean, Tommy's had his life turned upside down by the government of Britain, and probably under numerous amounts of threats, but he's still alive.
The thing is, Banksy, when you look back at all the things Tommy has done and research it properly after you see what you've seen recently, you start to ask yourself that question: has he been telling lies regarding his speech on the Oxford Union speech? Because that's what woke me up to TR, and that's why I followed him, because of that speech. But now with what I've witnessed of the rape of Britain being completely fabricated, with that Amy Nicole being the same, and now Sarah Rushton, we pulled up a history with Naga and the donations Danny Tomo had made with this MMA boxing game, and then TR with Sarah Rushton making out that they've never had contact before. You think, hold on a minute, if he's lied about this, and if he's lied about other things, and all these groomers that he's been putting out on his Telegram, out and out making public, is already in the public interest. So what's he doing? Using them to make a grift? And everyone that he's stated that hasn't been done for yet, why is the police not open no investigation? And therefore, why is he publishing this story in the public? He's exploiting victims, he's exploiting their stories, and he's also tarnishing any possible future cases. And after all, where's the bloody money gone that he's took? Why is he not set up an organisation to help these victims? Or why is he not directing them to the correct organisations? It's all me, take. Doesn't work. Doesn't sign on.
I mean, a lot of people have criticised the money side for sure. I mean, I've seen a lot of people question, like, what's he doing with all the cash, etc., etc. But I mean, in all honesty, don't you think that Tommy's time is done? Like,
but the thing is,
that's kind of over now.
The longer he goes on, the more he's dividing people. The longer he goes on, the more money he's taking in for donations. He's saying 11 grand a month he's still taking in for his urban scoop. What's he doing with that money other than travelling back and forth from Tenerife and then begging for £5,000 to pay off a 25 court loan? And then he's out on a flipping boxing match, which probably cost him about 5 grand. The fights from Tenerife alone, what, 238 a person.
So he's put up, like, what do you mean fights? Like actual, like, boxing fights or
Well, he was at the boxing match last night, and he was bragging about being trending in the Twitter, which was just confirmed that he's not been trending in Twitter for quite a while. So again, he's manipulating.
He organised these boxing fights, or he was at a boxing fight?
Yeah, he was at a boxing match last night.
Oh, I see. But it wasn't like he didn't organise it, or he's not putting up.
No. He paid to go and watch a boxing match after applying for so much in donations to pay for a court cost that he had put himself into.
Oh, so he took the money. Yeah. I mean, I got an email from him because I guess I'm still on that mailing list about the fact that he needs money for these court cases and blah blah blah. Please donate. Another begging letter, and I just ignored it. But I didn't realize. Okay, but I mean, was this boxing match very expensive?
Yeah, I mean, hold on, 2 seconds. We had a price list of it put up earlier on. Let me see if I can find it. 2 seconds.
Actually, I've got someone in the background. Hello.
Yo, Manny, how am I coming across, bro?
You're good, man.
Can you hear me?
You sound good. Yeah. How's it going, Has? It's been a while, mate.
Yeah, pissed off, bro, to be honest with you. Really pissed off. Really pissed off.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm going to say this before anyone says anything. Pretty please. This is the second time Manny's done this.
Oh, Manny.
Okay, and he wants to get up. Yeah, man. Second time. Second. You know, when you stop someone, when you put on a platform that this is meant to be for free speech, okay, and then put all the ones that are so against free speech as moderators, and then go on to insult me, and then deny me the right to reply.
Yeah, they've done it.
That
no,
guy
when
is
did
not
Manny-
for free
Manny,
speech.
Mosley, and Athena. We've all
That
been
guy
blocked
ain't
on
for free
Corner.
speech.
Okay. When did Manny? Are you blocked on Speakers Corner Online YouTube now?
Nah,
Yeah,
mate,
me too.
I'll come off of that, mate. Forget that. That is definitely not for free speech. I'm not.
No.
I'm not
I'm
gonna
talking about
bother with
YouTube.
that.
The YouTube
Banksy.
channel or the website.
YouTube channel.
No, I'll come off of it, bro. Like, what's the point of like supporting something that's not supporting it?
No. I just want to
what's the point?
clarify. Where were you? Were you blocked on the Speakers Corner
I
website?
weren't blocked. No, Manny just didn't allow me on.
No.
weren't
You're talking about.
blocked.
Are you talking
Manny
about the YouTube channel?
The one that he was doing the podcast on Speakers Corner Online too.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So this is the YouTube channel we're talking about. We're not talking about the actual main site itself.
No,
That's...
I went through that to get on there. I somewhat figured it out. I was like, I know how they've gone through. So I've gone on there to get the link in. But it was like, no, I'll have to call it you on.
Okay.
We're happy to talk about you. I was like, all right, no worries, bro. You want to go down this route? Go for it.
Okay. So he didn't let you on the YouTube podcast when they were live.
Bro, it weren't that he wouldn't let me on. To top it off, like there was parts that I had a right to reply on, and I should have been able to put my reply in. He even denied that, bro. Even denied that. So I'm just going to tell you that that guy later he's for free speech. Later he's for free speech. And I'm just going to say this as well, Banksy. You know, just another thing that I wanted to really, really disagree with you. Yeah, you know what? People have got the right to somewhat bend off some of the frustrations. It's like how are people expected to do things to some people and then just be like, yeah, it's all right, you can just do that to me. I can't get angry. I can't vent out what you did to me. So what is it? You just gotta go quietly and sulk in the corner.
You're not allowed to call it out because people will call you jealous. I just see Mark.
Again, this is the thing. This is such another Jew tactic, bro. Such another one of these. I'll just be quiet and be happy with shagging you.
I didn't see that one coming.
I mean,
I didn't see that coming.
You can't do nothing, man. You can't do nothing. Just gotta be happy that you got something in your mouth, mate.
I wouldn't put it to a religion problem here, mate. I just put it to a fucking.
Bro, it is.
Nothing better to
public.
do.
I'm gonna say this.
Gangster warriors, you know.
If you're getting all this money tax free, eventually you get tempted to use it in nefarious reasons. Okay, and it's a sad part of it.
You got to think about it. He's living in Tenerife. He's not paying taxes in the UK, and he's not even a British passport holder, and he's not even British himself. He's Irish. So
again, my issue ain't that. It's not even any of that he really claimed. But where he lobbies is for the blue and white state of the Middle East, and that's all it is. And people have got to somewhat understand that that's what he's here for, just to stir up trouble, to cause a whole load of mischief. He knows that his people have orchestrated it, because this is why he's got all that information and the lowdown. Oh, the police ain't doing nothing about it. When what this football hooligan, it really gives a shit about women that are getting groomed. A fucking arse, man. I remember that one line that he gave me, and I believed it back then, some 8 years ago. The only reason I'm doing this is because one of my nieces got groomed by one of these guys. But yeah, we find out years later he's only happy enough to groom them himself.
Stuff to that storyline, his niece, because he never came out originally about that. He was out regarding the Muslims on the streets of Luton, and he took over the EDL. It was never about grooming gangs when he started off. You know, he came out with that on his Oxford Union speech, which I now question, and that's what got me into TR the first time. When you start seeing the lies regarding the leasing stuff this last 2 years, you start looking back further, and it's like, fuck me, how the hell did I fall for that? When you research things into what he's done and what he said, it's all for fucking money. And I mean, I'm not going to say nothing too bad, but when you're using a religion to blame someone for that's a weak fucking hitting point, to be fair. It's got fuck all to do with religion. It's all about good versus evil. You're either a good soul or a fucking evil soul, no matter who you are, what colour you are, where you're from in this world. And he is just a using, grifting prick that's divided, the Muslim community from, the British public.
Mm.
And another thing that is done is where there's resources that are already struggling, he wants a subdivision squad where a serious crime like this, where people that are qualified to do this have got to find two departments. Like, what do you want to deal with, the Muslims, or do you want to go deal with the other type of people? Like, what is the genuine outcome of this? What was it?
Dealing with
Nothing.
That's the whole situation of what's going on in this country with the rape, because the rape in England, Scotland, Wales is just unreal. All he talks about is just a small percentage of the bigger issue in this country, and you're only going to sort out 1%. What's he going to do about the other percent? Because in all,
that's exactly what I was trying to get at. And he wants a lot of that energy to go there.
Picture. Yeah, so he's taking the attention of his followers' minds away from the bigger issue and bringing it into a racial dispute rather than, look at Parliament, for fuck's sake. How many of them have been involved with bloody indecent images and rape and grooming with drugs, sex and alcohol? It's just as bad as the politicians, in my eyes. It's just using the Muslims as a way to...
Public, I've got much more of a sinister thing. I reckon this goes up from the classes, from gutter range all the way up to the elite, and it makes sense for it to be like that because they all come in all shapes and all sizes. And guess what? It's got to a stage where it's so organized now that they've got the resources where they can now pay people to deviate from trying to get this problem resolved. And it's a simple, and I don't want to sound horrible, I don't think it's a hard problem to resolve. It really ain't.
No, it just ain't. We all coming together and we'll speak up. But if anyone wants to speak up and amongst them, you shut down instantly because you're taking the fame away from him and his potential customers. Exactly. That's why you see them shut down like the Freedom Movement. All they try doing is getting in with the adverts so they can push their propaganda into their channels on Telegram, which is near enough pushing you to the far right. You got Scott Tomlin constantly bashing on about communists and all that, and then you got Tommy Robinson saying support for the Pravdu. If you look into the research, the Russian party, the Pravdu, they're a communist bloody party, and they want the annexation of Ukraine, the Soviet Union. So why is Tommy supporting a socialist party, a left wing, far left extreme party, and you got Roscoe who's silent, yet he cries commie at anyone that speaks out against their grift. It's like you've just gone round in circles on yourself. You can't accuse people of what you're supporting.
But that's the thing, innit? It's deviate. Don't look here, look there.
Yeah,
that's what it's always going to be with them.
Does Tommy really know what the Zabravdu party is about, or did he just see it and thought, "Oh, they're a freedom party. Let's quickly share them," Or is he showing support to them, hoping his followers will go towards the Socialist Party and
money collecting? That's all that is. It's just a money collecting exercise. Anywhere that shows a little bit of interest, he goes there. And there's another more sinister side of this as well, where I think there's a lot of people that where there's the same where abused tend to become abusers, and I think Tommy knows this as well. And I think there's some nefarious thing going on there as well with their little racket schemes as well, because the support that you're getting
can't open their eyes. They can't open their minds up to what is, or even to look into the research that we put out. That it's all, oh, you're jealous, or oh, you just want to be like him. No, I don't want to be like Tommy. Why the fuck would I want a big fat nose that's swollen up for sniffing cocaine all night after the boxing match? I mean, look at his bloody video he released today. The state of him. It's like he's having a calm down. He's agitated.
My thing is just taking the energy away from sorting this problem out. That's the only reason that I'm not a big fan of Tommy. Not for any other reason than that, really, because it is a really important matter that needs to be resolved, and it's having our kids go through this kind of stuff unnecessarily for another nation's game.
There's a big divide going on, and we're getting accused of dividing everyone up. No, what we've done is we've divided those jobless people that are crying online for grifting from the working class. Now, everyone I know that's speaking out against TR and his grift are the working class. I mean, I'm a full-time worker myself. Clanwell's a full-time worker himself. Everyone else who I know is a full-time worker ourselves, and we're being blamed for being paid to do what we're doing today. No, we're working-class people. We're sick and tired of this divide being pushed by TR and all the other idiots like Lee Garrett and that. So we're speaking out against it because we've seen it in our own streets. You can't walk the streets without worrying about, what's going to happen because of this divide being caused. It shouldn't be like this in Britain. It's not what Britain's about.
Excuse me. So what do you guys think about this Andrew Tate becoming a Muslim?
He's doing it because he's scared, isn't he? And he's pushing his followers into maybe doing the same thing. Again, push money, like you said with his TikTok stuff.
Religion, again,
yeah.
Religion.
Always use religion. Religion's the main cause used to divide people. You take religion out of the whole thing and then do your course. Don't include...
This is what I was saying. Religion. Like, we no offense, you got religious people and the excuses that they have to get away with what they get away with. Like, who's going to be able to go up against that? Who?
Well, that's why when you debate, you just exclude religion from the topic when you want to debate about something serious, and skin color, because that's another thing with Scott Tomlin. He always brings up skin color when you ask him a hard question. Oh, you're only asking me that because I'm black. He's a bloody white supremacist in black skin. I mean, he's hanging around with a lot of the PA lot. I mean, we caught the team on video with PA at the last demo, and they're calling us far right. And next minute, they're calling us fucking lefties, hope not hate infiltrators. It's like, which one are we? But you're the ones that have video.
I don't see a difference.
PA stuff. We've got a picture
far right, far left.
Sam Melia at Generation Identity. I mean, okay.
They're part of the same racket, bro.
Yeah,
I'm going to be brutally honest with you. If you think that they're a different entity, mate, that's just called controlled opposition, bro.
They're all out the same pot, and they're all stirring their followers.
That's what I'm saying. My thing is, I want to chop the hand of the pot stirrers, man. Forget the ones that are in the pot, man. They're just going with what the narrative.
See them all in there. Just join Jupiter's channel, mate. They're all in there. All the pot stirrers.
Yeah, I know what the moderator that just basically Manny decides to have these idiots.
Yeah, the ones that don't allow you to speak nor come on the stream, or they keep you on mute.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they're moderators. Hint. Banksy. Hint.
Well, Banksy, you remember when I came on your last live stream? I came on with you. And we had Jupiter blocking Mandy and Athena comments, and I came on stream to call it out. And you heard a rant for 20 minutes continuously at me. Oh, but you said this, you said this. You've got the comments yourself, Banksy. Nothing we said was abusive. It was just questions with the stuff we sent them privately. Why are you ignoring this? Why are you completely changing the topic? It's not about us. Why are you questioning us?
Was this Jupiter that was saying all that?
Yeah, it was our last time a while back. She 20 minutes ranting.
And Sam, man.
Blocking people in your own chat as mods. I mean, if you support free speech, you can't be blocking people's comments. If you believe what we're saying is abusive, leave it up for the public to decide. Don't just portray a narrative after deleting it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I do have a handful of moderators on here, but I've always told them to just be cool. The only things that I want deleted is like things that violate YouTube's terms of service.
Agree.
Not my stuff.
I can say that about you, but don't be. I'm not saying you are or anything. Don't be shy to speak the truth of what you see. What you said the other day regarding PA and the push and all that was bang on. And you're on par, and you've researched because you can tell what you're talking and how you're talking.
Because I've just simply been observing these groups, and I can see where they're headed or the trajectories. It's nothing, out of the ordinary. I'm sure most other people would have seen what I saw. I honestly don't think I'm breaking any grounds here or reinventing the wheel. I just see a particular group. When PA first started, and Ralph was all over them and he was loving them. I just simply pointed out, because the stuff that I saw was them up in the hills of York, hiding their faces behind the banner, holding up a banner. I'm like, no movement's going to get anywhere with that kind of a, with that sort of backing. People who don't even want to show their face, you're not going to go anywhere. These people had aspirations to become a fucking political party. Like, you got to be joking me. You can't even show your face. So, no one's going to elect an avatar for the fucking number 10. So this is like nonsense. And then within a very...
money, if you don't show your face, you're not worth value to speak freely. You know, that's money's worth.
But what I mean is, I'm not saying, on the internet you can talk and say whatever you want to say. The internet is a different world. But if you're looking at the real world and you want to become a politician and have a political party and your members can't show their face, you are not going to get anywhere. And then literally
within... like the fuel lobby?
Well, actually, no. What do you mean, the fuel lobby?
They ain't getting nowhere. The coal lobby, the meat lobby is not getting anywhere. I mean, all their faces are fucking known. This is what I'm trying to say, Banksy. Like, what are the narratives that we've got? None of them are true and none of them are fake. It's, again, like, my thing is that we need this to be fair. Like, this whole everything just needs to be fair.
But
like, for example, this is the reason why nothing will get sorted. Like, nothing's going to get sorted. And I'll give an example. Look, here's the most prime example. Look at this Kanye West thing. This last of it. Like, just one silly little statement like that. Look at the kind of things. And you're saying that these people should come out and show their faces. What? But, like, these ain't even Kanye West, where the guy's got £1 billion to, like, buffer it.
I know.
You're expecting a working class man to come. This is what I'm trying to explain.
No, but that's how it is. But this is the thing. This is what happens, Hassan. You think it's bad over here. Imagine a young schoolgirl in Iran having to go up against that authoritarian, brutal
they're not going to be going
out
that.
But what I'm trying to tell you is, you're telling me about people who are afraid, effectively, to show their face because a working class guy and he doesn't want to lose his job, and I totally understand that. But what I mean is, how far you have to push people that in a country like Iran, under that vicious authoritarian regime that will literally beat you to death. These people have found that level of courage. So at the moment, until we get to the point where people don't care anymore, you're not going to get anything changed until people no longer care about what you're going to do to them. When the government presses you so much to the point in which you no longer care about your job, you no longer care about your other than buying the next fucking iPhone, you would rather eat bread and drink water, live on bread and water, than to allow this government to continue in this path. And then you get out and you actually then make change. But nobody wants to sacrifice. Nobody wants to give up. Then but I booked a holiday in Benidorm. I can't lose this job this year. I've got mortgages to pay. I've got this. I've got that. As long as you keep people in that state, they will do nothing. Just like Connor says, you'll do nothing. And they will do nothing.
People are going to do nothing until they get the full story. Because I'll be brutally honest with you, Banksy. People have had enough of being narrated into. I'll just take this now. Just remember this. Just not so long ago, we had a whole load of our young boys and girls going to Iraq. Right. Just in our lifetime, we know that was all for nothing. All for nothing.
20-year-old war, 18, 20-year-old war.
Yeah, now, are these people going to send their kids again? No. But if we had what we had...
It wasn't our battle, was it?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's getting to the point where it needs to be fair.
For Ukraine and Russia. I mean, why are we paying for the Ukraine and Russia? I mean, who are we protecting here? The laundering that our government have been sending to Ukraine for many years, and then Russia, you got Russia trying to take over Ukraine. It's like the globalists.
I don't think they're trying to take it over. I'm going to be brutally honest with you.
You know, that's how I
don't think. You go down and you kick someone's door, they're going to reinforce it, and that's all what Russia's doing at the moment. Just reinforcing their door. Like, I'll be honest with you, like, why Russia was happy enough to make their money.
Russia are obviously using their fighting against the globalists, but you got to watch Russia aren't secretly trying to get them back into the days of the Bolsheviks and trying to take back, and bring back the Soviet Union through this.
Look, I don't care what Russia's doing. What Russia's doing. I don't, my thing is, we're getting a lot more damage by our own government than what the Russians are currently, or any Russians doing to us. At the moment, we're getting far more worse than our own government by not giving a fair shot at what is rightfully and worked for and fought for by us. But going back to that Iraq war, people have had enough of just not getting a fair crack of it.
We had Brexit. We was going through the talk deals. Boris Johnson came in to implement it. And since then, we had COVID. Then it's gone to the Russian-Ukraine war. And nothing's been said about Brexit.
Well, that's the distraction. That's how they distract you with the next thing. I mean, every time. I mean, I'm amazed that Boris didn't start a war with someone else when they were going at him about the Partygate crap. I was like, okay, who's Boris going to bomb next? Because suddenly, I bet you any money, as soon as some scandal or some shit that's going to, depose a particular prime minister or president, they're like, okay, we need to bring democracy to this particular country. their human rights are being violated. Yeah. Let's go.
The banking system, the oil's been taken, and then we're the ones that are paying for it, and then all the laundering that's going on with the elites. And
people have woken up to it.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see when Saudi Arabia fucks around enough so that America has to give them democracy. I think Saudi Arabia is due for a democracy soon.
I think.
And here's another thing I want to add to this as well. I think America, UK, France, and all other NATO nations' bluff has been caught. And
the
they know
elites that have been running the show.
I'll be honest with you. They've got nothing left now. Like it literally means boots on the ground if you're going to really want to win this war. And guess what? The boots ain't there to be volunteered on the ground by the other side. The democratic states, supposedly the ones that
I've got a question for you. What party in the UK would you say is for the people?
What part?
What party in the UK would you say is for the people in Parliament?
None of them.
Yeah, absolutely. What kind of party would you like for the UK? Just
something that's going to be for this country. Something for this country.
But is there? I mean, do you know any parties that are really out there for the people? No. I can honestly say I don't know an actual party that is. The only things that I can I don't know. I guess you could say maybe. Let's put it this way: out of 100%, when it comes to the established parties, Conservatives, Labour, Lib Dems, all that bollocks, they are like maybe 2% for the British people. The rest is all interests. Whilst other parties, maybe Reform, maybe other parties, I don't know, there's a whole bunch of them, maybe like 3 to 5%. That's literally all I would give all of these political establishments.
I reckon we should do more streams on parties and try and work out what party might be best to our interest, or maybe talk to people who might be interested in starting a party amongst people. Because there's many people online that, this is why I don't see these grifters. I don't see them come up with solutions.
Public.
It's all about them making money.
The problem with the system is that you can go ahead and be the most well-intentioned individual ever. Once you're in the system, they will force you to comply to their ideas and their methods. So you can go in with the best of intentions. There is. I don't know how many times I've said this so many times. I'm blue in the face. There are 2 books that you should read before you die. One is The Confessions of an Economic Hitman, and the other one is Rules for Dictators. And these 2 books will give you the exact reasons why everyone who comes into this system, and it doesn't matter whether it's the king, whether you become a king, a prince, like Mohammed bin Salman, or a dictator like Saddam Hussein or Gaddafi, or a president or a prime minister. The system, they say, the throne does not. The king does not act from the throne. The throne also acts upon the king. There is a period. There is a a situation in which you, the crown, the throne, whatever position you have, the prime minister, the president, acts upon you. So you can't just do what you will. Believe it or not, even dictators like Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein had to follow these rules, because a king cannot build roads, a king cannot fight the wars, a king cannot police the cities, a king cannot build bridges and electric power plants.
Can we not try and find out who's running all this? I believe it's to do with the Vatican.
Yeah, but I mean, no, it's not that there's one single person. The fact is that every power structure, if you're the top of that power structure, you need people beneath you to do the things for you, to build the country for you, and they become the keys to your kingdom, and they will act upon you, because if you don't keep those keys happy, they will depose you and they will bring someone else in your place. So you're only as powerful as the loyalties of your keys. And that's the problem with these scenarios.
Let's say if there was a decent group of people that are willing to start a political party that are well known across these channels, well known publicly, and the public known about it. And if the government don't allow this party to be maybe up for selection, and maybe the public can say, no, hold on a minute, we like their values. Can we not vote? Why can we not vote for these? You know, because obviously there's something corrupted in the system that's stopping a decent party coming in. And we all know that Labour, Lib, Dem, all these parties have all got different policies, but to the same agenda, and that's fuck the British taxpayer and let's get rich.
Basically.
Yeah. I mean, not being funny. My views are, this is just my views. All politicians should be on minimum wage. So if they up their wages, then minimum wage goes up with it.
I'll be honest with you, I think people that are smart should get a decent wage. If you're going to be running a country, I think you should be on a decent wage. I reckon the most important thing this nation really needs is transparency, because it doesn't make no sense.
Affordable.
It makes no sense putting someone on working minimum wages if they're getting backdoor kickbacks.
Well, they're all breaking the code of conduct of Parliament. They're all enriching themselves with political positions. We know through COVID they all had shares in masks and devices. They've all had shares in all these companies while the lockdowns happen. I mean, why were the big stores allowed to be open and not the little stores on the corner? Well, it's obvious, because these politicians involved in all this are enriching themselves with the company shares. You know, let's get shares in this company and let's shut down the rest of the businesses in this country, and then watch them earn shitloads of money on us. That's what they've done. They've destroyed the working class and the middle class to enrich themselves with their friends and foes like Amazon, eBay, Tesco, Asda. It's to follow the money.
It's not. You know? It's way before Amazon and eBay, dude. This was happening for the banking groups decades before the Amazons and the eBays came about. This was happening for the banking groups. This was happening for the oil interests, the energy companies. These things have been happening for decades. This is not a new thing. You didn't just wake up and this was our lives.
No, it's been going. I mean, we've been infiltrated through education.
It needs transparency on the minimum anyway. I think that's where we should really start with. Because if you don't know where your mouthpiece is, and it's claiming to be from there and it's not, and it's from another place, well, that's where you're going to struggle. And through there, you'll get sincerity and trust. Yeah. And through there, you can start building up. Simple as.
Now, I've posted two links.
A very hard maneuver.
The second book, I actually misread it. It's actually it's called The Dictator's Handbook, and also Confessions of an Economic Hitman. Now, these two books cover different things, but they actually, if you actually see the bigger picture, you realize they're actually talking about the same thing. One is America focused. The other one is just how dictatorships and all empires and economic systems work in this world. This is how things are done, whether you like it or not, whether you think you're going to be everybody thinks they're going to be the benevolent dictator that will solve the problems of the world, and that they're going to be the good guy. And I promise you, you are not. You are no more benevolent than any Gaddafi, than any Saddam Hussein, because
your fellow dictator is not.
No, because Hassan, the throne acts upon you.
Banksy,
you don't just act from the throne.
Banksy. Our king does not behave the way a king in some backwood village in the part of the world. No, our king wants royal. Our king wants royal arse wipers. Our king wants royal this, and our king wants to do a certain other thing. The guy in some backwood bush just wants to grow great corn as a king. You understand me? That now, if all kings were all put on the same level, yeah, then there's just a different story. Then it will be an invested interest to keep their kingdom. But what they're doing is it's on a fiat system. They want more than the other king, and that's why they're benevolent.
Yes, goals. But it's not. As I said, to keep yourself from being absolutely benevolent instead of malevolence, or is it benevolent? Yeah, to be good, to be benevolent, to be truly giving to your people. There is no human being that can do that. This is the problem, because Hassan, it's not just you. You can be good, but your keys to your kingdom have their own self-interest, and they are also dependent on their keys.
If they come with skills that are requiring a surplus of what you've got, say for example, they're not happy with just exchanging corn, they want gold as well. That's a different story. But I'll give an example, Banksy. If every single person that come out of their mother's womb and they were taught great English, great math, great science, and was taught how to become a great brain surgeon by the age of 21, brain surgeons wouldn't be getting £500,000 wages. They would be on the minimum. And again, if the system around you is working for you, where you're getting good, healthy produce and a good, healthy living, you don't need psychiatric therapy and sheltered accommodations that's costing thousands of millions of pounds to the government every year. This is where we've been pulled into this. Oh, look, we need these people to be self-reliant. No, we don't. We've made ourselves pay for this service, and they realized through fear that they could charge us from it. That's it. You'd be surprised what humans generate as energy and resources, but it's just we don't deal with it. We get others to deal with it. Like, you look at a person in Africa, for example, and I say Africa, I mean a place where, life is life. You got to do it for yourself, eating in Alaska. People are still living their lives. They're still living to a good old age, but they're not having to be reliant on these super big hospitals and these really fancy technicians, because they're being inbred to the point of their life where they need to.
No, but
you see what I'm trying to say?
The problem is, Hassan, those countries who don't have these sophisticated technologies, their life expectancy is like 40 years old. Most of us will be dead in those nations.
A person, I totally disagree with that, Banksy. I know a lot of my parts of my family that have lived to a ripe old age.
That's anecdotal. That's anecdotal. Yes, you can find a few people that might live to 90 years old in Swaziland, but Swaziland's average life expectancy is about 40 years. It was actually 30 something before because of so much AIDS in that country. Now I think it's risen to like 40 something.
Again, you said it. If you put a virus in there, you're going to drop that age. See, this is what I'm trying to say. That you can this is where our theories have broken down so badly that we're looking at these people living in these great parts of the world where it's all natural, all great, but we don't take into account that some government official has put some AIDS virus in there that's going to bring down the age of these.
But what I mean is,
great deal.
There are other countries who also, got very low
again, and I'll show you that
life expectancies. But I mean, look, you can go ahead and sort of be a bit more conspiratorial about it.
I'll be honest with you. It's not. We don't need to add fluorine to our water. If we had great distillations and great filtered water system, there'd be a lot of issues that we could solve. If we were taught how to make toothpaste on a daily basis, we wouldn't need to add fluorine to our
dude. The fact is that we all right now in this particular time in history, we are drinking some of the most cleanest. We flush water down our toilets that is 1,000,000 times cleaner than what people have to drink in sub-Saharan Africa. People, I mean, have you actually seen when people go? These little girls with these I don't know, clay containers or just buckets, walk like a mile down the road to fish muddy water from a puddle. I mean,
it's lack of education. I mean, Africa's sitting on a bunch of resources, just like Venezuela, and it's funny how these countries are the ones that are poorly.
You see, this is the problem with. As I said, this is why you guys need to read the Dictator's Handbook.
The water that comes out, do you genuinely think it's good for you? One that you're drinking.
It is a thousand. No. It's not that it's whether it's good or bad. What I'm saying is, looking at human history and human civilizations, yes, we are living in the most affluent and the most with the most amount of when it comes to all metrics, life expectancy,
really well,
health, general healthcare. Yeah, we are the most healthiest.
And make a good statistic.
No,
that's it.
Hassan,
we're not living healthier. We are definitely not living healthier.
I'm comparing it to the all of human history, recorded human history. The most amount of people are the healthiest, have the better life standard of living, the highest mortality rates, child mortality rates, women pregnancy mortality rates. They are the best that has ever been in the whole of human history. As in recorded history, what we have documented, recorded, this is the best possible time you could live in, because of the facilities. But no, the best possible time in the West, by the way, the best possible time in the West, not if you're sub-Saharan Africa in some godforsaken place which is riddled with civil war and all sorts of warlords and other shit going on. Not if you're in Syria. No, I'm talking if you're in a Western, 21st century developed country, then you are living your fucking best life.
Maybe back in the boom areas, I agree with, but nowadays, no, because financially it's really hard to afford to live with a family.
Whatever standard of living, even if you're living in a fucking matchbox flat in I don't know, whatever, in London or wherever you are, you're still living a richer life than a Brazilian. I have seen. I was in Brazil. Back in 2013. 2010, 11.
We're paying for that.
Yeah, of course we're paying for it.
Syria is the reason why he's not living to that what he used to live before it started to peak down, where food nutrition has gone down, air and quality is. And I'm sorry to say this ain't global warming talk here. I'm just talking in general. Like our food nutrition is down, the water quality is down, and it's down because it's been engineered for it to be statistically accepted.
Look, I agree to some extent. Maybe things like fluoride and other things are not necessary. Maybe some of these are drugs to pacify the overall population.
How about the medication, the depressants that people are taking?
Antidepressants, I mean, they've now discovered new things about that, and it was recently that was exposed that the antidepressant drugs that are trying to solve some sort of biochemical imbalance is nothing of the sort. Depression has nothing to do with biochemical imbalances, apparently. So now they're discovering new things. But the fact is that we can only move as fast as the pace of science that we can discover. If we don't know something, at least that's what we think. I mean, look, you can go ahead and Alex Jones this all you like.
All right, can I ask you a question? When they saw what mustard gas did to humans in war, when did they decide that would be a good idea to put it on our plants and think, humans will be able to accept it? Well, when did this?
Again, dude, they used to put cocaine in Coca-Cola. We discovered maybe that's not such a great idea after all. So shit has gone wrong many a times.
Maybe they should go back to the original recipe.
Dude, they used to put lead in paint, and kids used to lick their walls. Yeah. We did all sorts of stupid shit.
Asbestos in roof tiles. Yeah.
Exactly, asbestos in roofs.
We also used to know what toxic is and what is not toxic. Now we've got lead in our food, but no one complains about that.
How do we have lead in our food and whereabouts?
Where's the water? you put through all them old pipes, or that they're
Well, they
dumping
replaced all the old
it
pipes, and they
into
with
set.
plastic.
Well, do you think that the lead just clears out? Yeah.
But they've
No, we
replaced all
don't.
those pipes with plastic pipes to solve that
I'm
issue.
saying, like, in parts of the world, I'm talking about.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It
All
even
these
goes in the
countries that are
water, bro.
poor, I mean, they're all sitting on a lot of resources, and there seems to be a lack of education to get the people trained enough to use the country's resources to enrich itself. But it seems like the leaders aren't allowing that to happen due to putting a lack of education into that system. That's how I see it. I mean,
And sometimes they put too much education into certain areas as well, man. Like, people are like, they know too much, man. You're like, what the
that's the
fuck,
woke
man? Like,
agenda,
just,
isn't it?
just stick to your program and what you need to know. Just keep it basic, man. Like, why do you need to be a rocket scientist to fucking operate, I don't know, something so basic as a shovel?
Look, the thing is, there are some things that have improved, and there are other things that we're either lacking or there's issues. And you're right. I 100% believe there are nefarious corporations who would rather sell you some poisonous shit and make a buck than to fix that poisonous shit because it's going to cost them too much. God knows how much medical advances and medical medicines have been suppressed by pharmaceutical companies because it wasn't profitable for them to cure a particular disease than to treat a disease. I can fully accept these things.
Something more sinister. I know loads of war that are being perpetrated so medical advancements can go on. Naming World War II.
Probably, yeah.
Naming where medically the evidence has been the breakthroughs that we made during this period we couldn't have made anywhere else.
But look,
we've got to stop seeing these entities as our friend. Like, it's sometimes better just to live a good life, and when it's time for you to die, fucking die. Stop going and get yourself repaired, because all you're doing is causing another person's demise.
Well,
like, for example, you need uranium to live. You need uranium to live, but we've got to go get 50 men die for your uranium. Fucking die, cunt. Just fucking die. Just die. You don't need 50 men to die because you want to live. We don't.
Well,
like, this
look,
is
dude. I mean, I don't think
we need to start coming. Well, then we're going to keep having problems where supposedly people that are not of our ethnicity is going to come back and want payback, because that's how life is, and we've got to accept that as well. Like, you were making this point, are we in the West? What's the difference between a person in the West and a person in the East? I don't see a difference.
Robert,
I don't.
No, I'm just talking about technological gaps. I'm not talking about there's a difference between people.
That is all to do with what we've got and what that ain't currently got. There are very simple solutions to put in. Give them a great education, give them a nice food source and a water source, and some social structure. There you go. They're back on Earth.
Yes, but they don't have that opportunity. That's one. But one thing. But Hassan,
they do. They're denying it because you want 5 guys to go down to a uranium plant because some guy wants to know if he's got cancer.
What do you mean? In Africa?
Fuck him. Or wherever it is. I'm assuming uranium comes from Russia.
No, uranium doesn't. I mean, it's usually developed.
Wherever it comes from. I'm saying you still want 50 men to go down there.
No, it's not. You don't dig up uranium. Uranium isn't a natural product in the world. It's not like gold or diamond. They can't dig up a uranium. They have to create it. It's created. It's a manufactured radioactive isotope. No, it has lots of other mineral. It has lots of other things in it, but it has to be manufactured. It's not just. It can't dig up uranium.
That's the bit where it gets enriched.
Yeah, it has to get enriched, but it's not just something they dig up. It's a. I don't know. I'm not a freaking nuclear physicist, but you have to actually
because there's a thing called thorium, and you dig that up. Thorium is a mineral. I'm assuming you might need to sift it and not purify it, but sort of like sort it out from the non-uranium bit. But yeah, from my understanding, I've actually seen what uranium looks like. They've got that other version where they call it yellow cake, and that's.
Wasn't it Hillary
Clinton
that was illegally selling uranium?
Yeah, of course he was.
Is she Catholic, isn't she?
Of course he was.
Who? Sorry, who?
Hillary Clinton. She got caught selling uranium to Russia, didn't she?
God knows, probably. Yeah. I mean, I'll be perfectly honest with you. As I said, these guys. I mean, this whole thing with Ukraine. I think this whole thing was manufactured in order
Money,
to. Well, not just money. A theory actually. Someone told me recently. My uncle actually. They have to, after the furlough period and all that money that these governments gave out to their citizens effectively for sitting at home, they have to claw that back. And they couldn't do it through direct taxation because direct taxation would have blown up the countries and people would have rioted. So they had to create a scenario in which they could increase prices on everyday items like energy, petrol, etc. So they could hike this stuff up beyond reasonable amounts, but people would still tolerate it. And they created the whole Russia invasion of Ukraine in order to justify the price hikes. The price hikes. I mean. Britain has its own natural gas and oil in the North Sea.
Well,
it doesn't take that much from Russia. How is it?
This inflation is all devaluation of the pound with the money they've borrowed from.
That exactly. So they had devaluation of your currency. So your money doesn't buy you as much as it used to, and they had to create a scenario in which they could hike up prices of other commodities like gas, oil, electricity, etc., in order to claw back the money that they gave to all these furlough people. I'll be perfectly honest. I never took a penny of furlough the whole time. I funded myself for a while, and then I had a job.
Good on you.
Well, no, it's not good on me. I fucking spent a shitload of money. I should have fucking furloughed that motherfucker. Fuck these guys.
No, I understand. I mean,
I should have taken the money.
All of this I worked through the lockdown period, me included, through class 1 driving, we ain't got a single penny of that furlough, and we're the ones that are paying back through taxes.
I'm fucking
pissed.
pissed.
Where's our free holiday,
I didn't get fuck all. I had 3 months off, fully funded it myself, used up my own savings, and then I had a fucking job. I never got a single penny off those cuts. I want
to address this as well. Manny as well, that was disgusting what he did. When he mentioned something about that Lee Kutcher, the girl that was murdered some 22 years ago. And
I have no idea.
According to Tommy, he went and asked her dad, was she going out with a Muslim? She was going out with. That one. Well, the true story was that it was found in a Jewish man's house.
Is that what the actual real story is?
The real story was that. The real story.
I mean, Tommy, he's got his angle. He's a biased, and he's got his angle.
Again, but during the Epstein time.
But I think he dropped that.
What's your views on Tommy bringing up the JQ thing regarding Tanya West? Then, if you're against Jews and you think Tommy's paid by Jews?
Well, again, my thing is let people know what it is. If people are happy to accept that for what it is, who the fuck am I to go against democracy, bro? Who?
No, I'm asking you. What's your views on Tommy talking about the Jewish question?
Oh, I see.
And you claiming that Tommy was paid by Jews? I can tell you for a fact, Tommy was paid by Jews. He used the Jewish community to hide behind when he started going on against Muslim.
Well, I mean, he was paid by Jews at one point. Ezra Levant. Is it Ezra Levant or David?
He robbed Ezra Levant over the studio stuff.
Oh, did he?
He fucked him.
Well,
well, over the I mean, how many donations? How much money to Ezra Levant?
I think it's seen to be like that. See, this is what I think might be getting this mistaken with public. They don't want to ever be shown as their support.
I'm very close to research. I know exactly what went on, and I've seen everything that went on.
You're never going to know how the real deal behind the closed door.
He took Jewish community money when he started going up against the Muslim grooming gangs. He used the Jewish way to hide himself behind. That's why he took
why would the Jews support him?
But Hassan, public annoyance was in the inner circle with the Tommy crew, right?
I'm saying, why would the Jews support him?
The same reason why the MEF took it and why the
I'm saying, why would they? Because they might want to keep deviating from a story that might be coming out from their corner.
What about Shalom?
I'm just saying.
Why didn't the Shalom story come out? If he's for the Jews, why didn't the Shalom story come out? We know the Shalom story is completely fabricated. You know,
She just answered that. She just answered that.
but it's got
Me, I
nothing to
was
do with
gonna
him
say
being
that
Jewish
it's
or
just
protecting
controlled.
Jews.
Well, he's
There's
a
no
lobby.
proof in what
Now,
you're saying. There is no
that's
proof,
all it
mate. As
is.
much as you say it, there is no proof.
Well,
proving what you're
I've
saying.
seen a video of him literally saying, I'm a Zionist.
Of course you would.
Okay,
That's how you keep your donators happy. I mean, if
yeah,
someone's giving you more than
but
hundreds
again,
of thousands of
and
pounds to keep your charity
that's
going, you're
what
going to
matters
stick
to me.
with what they're going
That's what matters to me.
report, mate. He'll say
That's
and
what matters to me.
anything. Why is he coming out with the Kanye West stuff lately?
Because again, it's control.
He's using it as his
Just-
band to enrich people.
That's all it is. It's just control. Like him saying something about Kanye West. Wow, what changes there? At the moment, he's dead anyway in the water. What's it like if he's going to say something about that, like to show that he's not for the support of Israel? When I've heard it from his mouth, I've heard him say.
Did you not know?
One minute. Have you heard him say that if England and Israel were ever at war, he would be fighting for Israel? Have you heard him say that?
Say anything to keep his funders happy, as most people would.
Again, that is what he wants to do, and then claim to be a patriot.
What would you say if he turned to Islam? What would you say if he turned to Islam like his best
I
buddies
would say that he's still a Jew. He's still a Jew supporter. I don't see no difference.
I see no difference.
Well, 1 minute. I see no difference between what they call the Abrahamic religions being Judaism, Christianity, or Muslim. At all.
Manny Sider, take my spine away. Manny Sider, you need to learn to stop banning people from commenting on Speaker's Corner, mate. And also, I've got a question for you, Manny Sider. We used to chat in Telegram.
Cinder, Cinder.
Cinder, Sider. That's because the clown will Sider, didn't he? So, Manny Cinder, I've sent you the information pack on all the facts we have on TR and his grift of rape of Britain. And after I sent you them, you read into that because of the blue ticks and you've completely ignored it and ignored me. And now you've sided with the TR bunch and Jupiter. Can I ask why you've ignored all the facts we sent you in private? I mean, it's all going public. If every live streamer, other than Banksy, we have not sent anything to Banksy. I mean, other people might have. We've sent every live streamer we know of an information pack of facts against TR and his grift. And you, along with Jupiter, have completely ignored what we said and just painted narratives out of those who spoke out regarding these facts. Feel free to come on, Manny, since you won't let me on yours.
He says, I read your messages. I guess I must be misspelling. I didn't, or I don't know. Maybe I don't understand that. Maybe he didn't read them.
You know when they've read your messages, but the fact
he's not going. He opened it.
I says I don't read your messages. That's what he's saying.
He's a liar. We was in a good conversation, and then I bummed in the information. See, I get friendly with these YouTubers, then I bung in the, so they've got no excuse to say, "Oh, I have not read it." They've chosen not to read it, or they've chosen not to talk about it. Either they're scared, or they're corrupted. Now, if you're a truth teller, as you state you are, Manny Sider, regarding
Cinder.
Cinder.
Cider.
I just call him Manny. Manny.
Yeah, just Manny. Manny's fine.
The chicken. Manny the chicken who likes to put narratives on people. So Manny Cinder. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah. Man, just Manny, man. It's all good. Manny's not
you
that.
Don't control
that
your
word about
Telegram. Okay, Manny. If that's the case, I'll give you the chance to read into what I've sent you on Telegram and maybe talk about it on your live stream with us. I'll come on and I'll go through it.
Manny's got a fixation for people.
Any question, Manny, that you have about anything I've sent you, you're more than welcome to invite me on your live stream to talk about it and explain it to you. I mean, it's your opportunity to speak out against what we have.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. One thing I will say, guys, I have to end this because I kind of got to get some sleep. I'm sorry, guys. I have to actually go to work tomorrow.
I'm going to say something about you, Banksy.
Go on.
You know, this Iranian thing. I'm telling you.
Oh, the protests.
A lot of this support today, if the Iranian protests don't stop, my heart goes out to all those Iranians tomorrow.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
you heard what he said. Yeah, and I'm telling you, please. But I beg.
Sorry. Hold on, Has. Hold it. Let Public finish, and then we'll finish this off together. Go ahead, Public. What was it you wanted to say to Manny?
He's saying make it public. It's been public because we don't have the followers like you guys do. That's why we've gone to the live streamers. We've already made it public. It's you guys that are trying to hide it.
I don't have any of it, but yeah, I mean, I'm not even on Discord.
But anyway, I'll end it there. Good stream.
No worries. Cheers, public. Okay, Has, go.
Bro, my heart goes out to anyone, and I beg you, please, find another country. Man, you know what? For that, I would
Find another country? Did you say find another country?
I would lobby for our immigration doors to open to all Iranians. But I urge anyone, please, don't go out on the streets tonight for your freedom. Just for tonight. Because I'm telling you, there's going to be fucking blood. Because they've said this.
I talk about in Iran. Don't go out in the streets in Iran.
Yeah.
Well, what did they announce?
They said that it's a crackdown now. Like, you go out in the streets from this day onwards, that is it. They're doing no more. I think it's.
I don't think the people are really going to care. I think they're going to go out. This is the point of. I think it has reached. I'm hoping that it has actually reached a point of no return now.
I don't think it has.
I think it has, dude. You know how many people have been killed? You know how many sons and daughters have been killed? People are pissed.
I think there's going to be a lot more.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a lot more. I've said it. I've been saying it for 20 years that if this regime ever actually gets to a point where they actually have to leave, they will kill about 1 million Iranians. I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for. It hasn't even reached 100,000 yet. I'm waiting for it to get into the hundreds of thousands of people. It hasn't even come close to that yet.
The end of that country, to be honest.
No.
I don't think. I'll say this. I'll say this. It sure sounds like they're going down the route of Syria.
It may get there. We don't know yet.
If you call Syria a country, I can't say nothing.
Well, look.
I just can't.
One way or the other.
I see what Iran currently looks like at the moment, and there's some semblance of like it can go forward from here. But I look at Libya. Not Libya. I look at Syria at the moment, and I'm like,
dude, these mullahs are gonna want to hold on to their position of power, just like Syria. And in fact, they're gonna call right now. I haven't seen any reports yet, definitive, but I know they brought in the Lebanese Hezbollah already. But they're gonna call on the Syrians to come into Iran and start fighting these people soon. Because what do you think? What do you think Iran supported Bashar al-Assad so vehemently? This is their insurance policy. They support Hezbollah in Libya because they're their thugs that they're going to call in when the shit goes wrong in Iran, and they already started bringing them in anyway, so they've already reached that point. They're going to go to Syria, and they're going to potentially even go to Russia and ask them for assistance.
Russia's going to support them. I'm telling you, Russia will support them.
Yeah, there's a good chance Russia will. But Russia's already in the shit 100%. With the West anyway, and we're going to get this again, West versus East proxy war in Iran, just like in Syria. We may end up with that, but I'm hoping that the actual Iranians win, unlike the Syrians, and actually get rid of, because the problem with Syria was that ISIS started dabbling in there, and shit got mixed up with ISIS. But I'm hoping, and this again, it's a hope, it's not a guarantee, that such
ISIS
a thing
involved there, but it's
in Iran
labeled as something. Yeah,
I don't know.
It's just relabeled as something else.
But no, because Iranians are Sunni, Shia. The ISIS are Sunni predominantly, so I don't think ideologically they would align. But what I'm saying is that the thing with Syria
are the Kurdish not.
Kurds are Sunni. Kurds are Sunni, but they're just a minority. They're nowhere near the majorities. The vast majority is Shia. So it's not going to be. I don't know if it's going to be ISIS per se, but it may be some faction similar to ISIS, just as crazy. It's not like Shia Islam is better than Sunni Islam. They're just as fucking nuts.
That's what I'm saying.
So there's a good chance there'll be a fanatic group.
Rebellious.
Yeah, there'll be another fanatic group potentially trying to slither in there. But what I will say is that unlike Syria, which had ISIS,
more worse than what you currently got, though. This is what I'm trying to say.
Dude,
like you're sort of like.
No, but Hassan,
bigging up
after the French Revolution. But no, listen, after the French Revolution, when they got rid of the aristocrats and beheaded and all that, they got a vicious dictatorship for decades afterwards. These things, the path to democracy, the path to true democracy and lasting freedom is fraught with tremendous amounts of wars and death. The Americans had their own civil war after the war they had with the British. So these countries didn't just emerge miraculously into peaceful democracies. It took a long time.
Look at why these wars started. So we see why. But I don't think that these people are going to have that.
Dude,
it's a case of they're just like whoever comes in power, they're just going to be these are the ones here because they've already Banksy. They've already accepted the ones that were hit there prior to it, bro. You're making it sound like Iran. Like if you said to me prior to 72. Bro, I couldn't sit here argue against you. I'll be like, 100%, cuz, man, we should go for it. But not now, man.
Look,
like now, I swear to God, I hear people like picking it up, and especially from you. This is the bit that's shocking me, Banksy. It's not from Manny. Manny, I get from Manny. I'm like, Manny don't get shit, bro. Manny don't understand fuck all from that. But you, like, it's freaking me a little bit out, bro. That. You're in a weird way advocating for your death for your brothers and sisters.
No, but Hassan, listen. The fact is that as much as I would love for Iran to magically, peacefully become a secular society, it's not. It's not gonna happen. These mullahs are so entrenched. They are so incredibly greedy. They will never leave voluntarily. They will never leave peacefully.
Bro, you don't need to leave. You don't need to.
Yes, because Iran has to be. Look. One thing I will say to you: after this revolution, even if Iran becomes another dictatorship, it will at least be a secular dictatorship. It won't be an Islamic dictatorship. That is the only good scenario that I can even see out of this, is that there will at least be a secular dictatorship rather than there'll be a Saddam Hussein dictatorship rather than a Khomeini dictatorship. That's the only good. That's literally. I'm not even looking at this as the bright, shiny fucking city on the hill. This is just, we're gonna move from one shitstorm to another shitstorm. Iran is gonna have to run this gauntlet of really fucked up societies and dictatorships until they actually emerge out of it as a democracy or some kind of republic. But all of these European countries did. Up until literally the last century, they were fucking fighting and killing each other. They had the greatest wars in the world in Europe. I'm just saying,
the most advancement that I've seen in my time has been through a non-war zone by a democratic.
Yeah, eventually they'll get there.
Again, but you've got to put that line in the sand. Like, for 1 million brothers to die, 1 million sisters to die is not then, or when it's 10 million. It's when you as a collective or a group of people go, look, we're not fighting. We're going to find a way around it. Like, for example, starving 100 people in Iran, where they're called the mullahs, are much more effective manner than picking up a fucking stick and fighting these people.
The thing is,
bro, if you're not happy to have these people, starve them out. Bro, look, when they come with their hand open, going, brother, you go, no, thank you, I'm skinned.
Look, Hassan, all revolutions, even the most peaceful ones. I mean, some people mention like Gandhi in India, a peaceful sort of revolution. He kicked out the British. It wasn't all peaceful. You do know the Indians were fighting the British in other parts of India. There were bloody deaths and guns and spears and all sorts of shit went down. They killed a whole bunch of British people too, and indeed the British killed a whole bunch of Indians. So it wasn't just Gandhi's movement that did this. There were wars and fighting and killing that took place in that process as well. All of these will involve some group of killing. As I said, I'm hoping it'll be as minimum as possible, but it will not be
they're going to get there. I'll be honest with you. On the one thing that once Russia's got its tanks into a nation, they're not gonna let. And I'll be honest with you. I've got a reason why this is as well. I think it's something to do with your nuclear enrichment. This is why this headscarf is such a big issue.
Yeah, quite possibly is fueled by other things. Dude, none of these things just happen. I can promise you somebody is behind all of these things. They are not accidents. And this Massa Amani and her incident it was fueled. It was used as a fuel to set this thing alight.
The fact that George Floyd.
Exactly. Just like George Floyd, like just many of these things. These things are not happening in vacuums. I'm sure.
We saw what happened. We see what's happened to the George Floyd movement now. I mean, Banks, the bunt. What I'm trying to say, I don't think the narrative of MI5, MI6, CIA stick anymore for a revolution, unless it's a genuine grassrooted struggle.
Yeah. Did you see me
saying about them? They're gonna win.
Yeah. Did you see the video I posted about Anonymous? It was an anonymous video.
So angry with you.
You're still angry with me?
I'm so angry with you. Oh man, you know what? I had to go. You know what? Banksy didn't do nothing to you. You can't hold it against him. Do you understand me? But with the whole speakers going online, I was like, you know what?
I know. But I posted it on my channel. I actually posted it on my channel as well as on Speakers Going Online. But I posted it on my channel. If you check it out, it talks about the anonymous group managed to trace one of the Iran's government official websites.
Yeah.
And you can go and even check this yourself. You just have to do a who is. And it was found, it was hosted by an American company that is associated with the intelligence agencies in America. That's their website's hosted there. So, and I literally wrote on the title of that video is called, it says, Iranians do not trust the EU, the UK, or the USA. They are not your friends. I literally titled it that.
This is the reason why I'm saying that this is gonna be just another put people through the mincing machine, like knowing that there's not a hope in hell that this war's gonna be. Bro, I hope I'm wrong.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope that already there's been over 100 deaths, so we already have over 100 deaths. But I hope not a single Iranian gets killed from this day onwards. But that's not how this is going to go down. This is not the reality. Again, I'll say it again. You can ignore reality. You can't ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. The reality is people are going to die in Iran for this for any change to happen. There is no other way around it.
I'm not disagreeing with it. My thing is that the people that really shouldn't be dying are the ones that are going to be dying. Like the ones that are in real power, these are the ones that need to be taken out in a manner that's not going to have them turn guns on like, for example, saying no to a person who's hungry is bad. It's going to eventually lead to their demise. If enough people say no to that person, they're going to starve. You understand me? Or they're going to be out in the cold where the rent's not being paid. This is how this needs to go down, because that is where your grassroots is. Everyone's ringing on that tone. It's not got that vibe. The vibe is mouthpiece through someone into someone's ear, being shouted out from that corner, and everyone, oh yeah, look, this is what's happening. 50 days ago, Khomeini, no problem. 10 days later, problem. 40 days later, a massive problem. This, is killing me.
Dude, I know.
Thinking Banks call for peace is killing me.
It's not the way, dude. It's not going to happen. It's not calling for peace at this stage won't change anything in Iran, and you're not going to convince those young kids not to go out by just simply saying, well, it's dangerous. They are past that point. The kids who took off, the little girls, I see little 10-year-old, 12-year-old girls taking off their headscarves and giving the middle finger to Khomeini and Khamenei's pictures. When little kids are doing that, when they've got that much fire in their belly to go that far, You're not going to convince them to stay home, dude.
I don't think that's fire. Do you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of the white helmet tactic. Show a couple of brave individuals in corners where no one's going to be able to see them do that, and post it as a figure. Oh, I saw that video. Where's the witnesses there? Where's the witnesses?
No, but dude, they were literally
in front of a police
okay.
That was in front of a police officer.
Yes. One of them. No, Hassan. One of them is a whole school assembly. The whole girls' school was assembled, and they had one of these Basiji guys from the government to come and give him a speech. All the girls started yelling, "Fuck off!" Effectively, they say "Basiji Borogomsho," which means "get lost." Basiji, get lost. The whole fucking school was shouting that. The guy left. He never gave his speech. He left.
I saw the one where he got punched as well.
That was in London. That was in London. But I'm talking. This is in Iran, where the Basij are essentially like the SS of the Iranian regime. They are that powerful. They can have you disappeared.
Yeah. And you think some of those girls in that school won't be disappearing in the next 4 or 5 months?
Possibly, dude. I'm not joking, but that was the whole schoolyard yelling, "Basiji Borogomsho." This is something unprecedented. It has never happened like this. I've never seen these things for 40 years in Iran. It's truly unprecedented. But this wasn't. This wasn't some white helmet thing. This wasn't just 1 or 2 people who were never going to get anything. These was a whole school full of girls that were doing this. So I'm sorry, dude. This has gone too far.
I'm looking at Redacted's report on this. I'm looking through Odyssey, clips through this. I'm seeing exactly what I'm seeing and saying, bro. It's
Hassan, let me ask you one thing with Manny. Manny just said, I mean, I'm not sure whether this is with other beefs or other things. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not involved in all that, so I'm not terribly fussed. But he's asked, can you ask Hassan what's the difference between hate speech and free speech?
Do me a favor, tell Manny when
you can tell him now.
What free speech is, he could then talk. Until then, he could shut his fucking mouth and stop asking stupid fucking questions. He's not for free speech. He's not for free speech. And how did he know what's hate speech? He didn't even have me on there to talk. So his argument's mute, totally mute.
I don't know, man. It says, Hassan, what's the difference between hate speech and free speech? He keeps asking that. I don't know.
There's no free speech.
Hassan is abusive mental health case. But the thing is, you see, that's the problem, Manny. You made, I think, a grammatical error or a wording error. You said hate speech, whilst you mean abuse. Because hate speech, I don't agree with hate speech and hate speech laws. I think they're bullshit.
I'm going to ask you a question.
But I do agree that you can't abuse people constantly.
No, constantly. I don't think if you get to the stage where the guy you're like, for example, you're outside his house 24/7.
Yeah, or harassing them, abusing them.
But if someone has, let's just say, not pleased you to the point where you feel that you have to express yourself, I've got no problems. A person is saying what they're saying. It's up to the police. I'll give you an example. If hate speech was everyone saying, "Oh, I'm going to kill you," our prisons will be full by now.
Exactly. Exactly.
But all right. So exactly. So does this hate speech really work in theory or in practice? No, we don't. So why are we?
Well, again, I don't agree with hate speech laws.
Why are we advocating for things that are not working? Why don't we just deal with the things that we know we could solve? Like a person said, "Oh, I hate you." So what we're going to do is we're going to send the police officer out there to investigate. Does this person? And then we find out, oh, he was angry or he got. But so no, it's absolutely bullshit. It's absolutely now. But again, if you went to my world where your transparency will be recorded and you said it, and then I'm spotting you on your GPS locator going to that guy's house. Yeah, now I've got proof of your prosecution. But we're not doing that. Again, just to prove that we've got people like Manny that really don't want to resolve the issue, just want you silent so he can get his shitty narrative out, his Christian Talmudi shit out that flies under the banner of free speech. Absolute
I don't
bullshit.
know. I mean, you guys have
I
to work
do.
this out yourselves. The racist is on this channel. Oh God, the racist is on there. I don't know. I mean,
Well, who's the racism?
I don't know.
What's racist?
I mean,
Again,
it's
that's what I'm saying.
anti-Semitic,
When they can't
possibly.
find Oh, factual, just factual, darling, just factual.
Yeah, well,
Just because it's got a cut dick, it don't mean that it's got to be that. You understand me? Like, you know, you could choose not to follow that belief. You could choose not to prescribe to those ideals.
yeah, but Has, I mean, I said it in another show as well. I'll be 100% honest with you, Has. You know, I don't share your your thoughts on Jewish people.
I don't care
because I've got Jewish,
it's
actual real life friends. I've worked with
share
Jews.
it or not. They believe it. They believe it. So it's irrelevant, and they don't give a shit what you believe anyway, because to them you're their genitals. So
yeah, but
like, why would they give a shit about what the genitals say to them?
No. You mean oh, you mean Goy?
You're Goy.
Genital.
Yeah,
Does that mean genital?
Yeah, you're Goy. Oh yeah, that's what it means.
Is that what Goy means?
So,
genitals.
Yeah, Goy. Yeah, you're Goy. You're genitals.
I thought it was like infidel or something.
And another thing, and here's another thing is that, like, when you look at their laws, like, if it states that you could do what you're doing to kids, boys, well, and what's that has got something to do with us. And just because your religious scripture says it's okay, it doesn't mean that I'm going to agree with you. And if you've got a disgusting secret or a part of your life, clean up your house. Go down to your rabbis and tell them to get this shit sorted out. It's not up to me. I'm not a Jew.
There you go. Sam says Goen means non-Jew person. I don't think it means genital.
Yeah.
I don't know. How'd you get the genitals?
Look it up. Yeah, look at it.
Really?
Look at it. It refers to your gentiles, as refers to the gentiles, and these gentiles are referred to as your genitals.
I
couldn't believe it myself.
I didn't
look
think
at it again, and
I'll look it up.
What Sam M says anyway. The
Hebrew.
fucking fake shit cunt.
I know you guys don't get along. I have ascertained.
It's not that I don't get along. I've got no time for people that have got imaginary friends that they need protecting, okay, and want to do disgusting things on behalf of them. I really haven't got any time for these people. I hope they all fucking die painfully.
I have my foreskin. Pick up my parents. Peter Norman says, I have my foreskin. Pick up my parents.
Lucky you.
Actually, that was a comment I posted for Andrew Tate. I said, I can't wait to see when Andrew Tate puts his dick under the knife for Islam. Let's see him get circumcised. Well, I didn't say that. I said I can't wait for him to get circumcised.
Under a lot of things, and that kind of thing.
It'll be interesting to see. I wonder if he would get the cut and then this displayed for all of us.
I don't know how they see him as a real man.
As a man or Muslim?
As a bald-headed man, I was assumed to believe was a mark of infertility. Like, it's clown world to the maximum. This is a real man.
Really?
Well, yeah.
I thought bald-headed men had too much testosterone. In fact, that's the reason they go bald.
No,
as a bald-headed man, I like to refute that.
As bald, you look at the kid count. You look at a guy with a lot of hair on their head, and I could tell you that they've got a fucking house full of kids, bro. Really? I don't even need to go into that. So I could tell you that they've got a house full of kids. That's what I'm saying. We're all. See what I mean about what our perceptions are.
I think you and I have very different take on these things.
No, I'm telling you, the ones that are bald were hairy back in the day, mate. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, maybe.
It's definitely a sign of fertility.
Maybe.
Definitely a sign of fertility.
But
definitely.
Anyway, all right, dude.
Anyway, and Cinder.
Oh, come on! Don't be like that, Haas. Don't be like that. You guys are. I will make you guys all friends again.
I'm telling you, this is the second time he's done this.
We should all be friends again, guys. Come on.
Again, he should have made that apparently clear before doing what he did. He keeps hindering my speech for some fucking scumbag. Right? or some Talmud.
I don't like this. I don't like this fighting. This is we guys have gone through a lot of shit in the speaker in that speaker's corner, dude. There are bigger enemies out there. We should not be divided this way.
No, see, this is another thing as well. I think we need to come off this. Their enemy. I mean, in the language in itself, like they're us, man. They're us without the afforded rights that we've been given. I'll be honest with you, when Brian Dawson put it to me this way, like when I heard one of his podcasts, he went, the difference between North and South Korea, their IQ, they're this. He goes, and that people have got this a perception of they don't deserve better or we do. Like someone's paying for it, bro. And when there's someone paying for it, guess what? That person's making money, and the person that's making money is not going to just make enough money for himself to eat. No, he's going to make enough money to crush the shit out of you. This needs to stop. Business as well. Business has got to have like a markup range of how much money it should make, not can make, should make. What's the point of making Jeff Bezos £10 billion more richer when everyone that's working for him can't even fucking pay his gas bill? What's the point?
I don't know.
We're going to pay their gas bill. We're going to end up paying their gas bill. Not Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos won't go and probably go, oh yeah, you know what? Here's the money that I've been stealing from you cunts all this time. Let me pay your gas bills. No, it's going to be put down to your bankruptcy, and we pay for that. And they know this as well. All right, we should start treating things as they really are and stop following Jews.
Damn, dude. Okay. I'm gonna end this. Thank you, Hass. Have a good night, mate.
I love you too.
Love you, man. Love you. Hang in there.
I love you too.
We got to quell this fighting, though. I don't like this in a fighting. I think this is wrong.
He you know what? He didn't even apologize, bro.
I honestly don't even know what was the situation that needed apology for. I literally have no idea what transpired.
Rewind his stream and listen.
Is this on Speaker's Corner 2?
Yeah, he's literally.
Yeah, I never even seen that.
Okay, and he's just sitting there just going, "Oh yeah, no, I can't have you on."
I literally haven't even seen that stream, so I have no idea.
I suggest
completely blank.
Don't put up the count on that. No one go on to Speaker's Corner 2 online. Don't one hit the like. No one share on that shit. Right? In fact, when you go on, they just put a dislike on there, leave a shit comment, and tell them that these cunts don't deserve free speech. Nowhere near them out.
Damn, you're harsh.
Cunt.
You're harsh. We got to get back together, man. Gotta get back together. We gotta get the friendships back up. I think this is damaging.
That are on our side to come forward and not have these bullshitters that want to make a bit of money on the side and pass on their tips on how to make millions by crushing others. Yeah, no thanks. We don't need more greedy cunts like you.
Possibly. I think we should all unite and get back on and actually attack the real enemies before us. But anyway, this argument could go on for a long time. Love you, man. Have a good night. Take care.
Same here, brother.
Give my best to the missus.
By the way, everyone hit the like, subscribe on Banksy Corner Online, share, okay, and everything. Love you.
Man. Yeah? Good man. Love you, man.
Good night.
Cheers.
Bye.
Okay, and that is us for this evening. I'll be honest, I didn't expect the stream to go on so long. I only thought maybe an hour. Well, it's 2 hours. 2 hours and 23 minutes. Got some heat up in here. Fucking the numbers jump too. I can't do it though. I can't keep going with this stream. It's just. I'm sorry, guys. I know you guys probably are bored on a Sunday night, but I've got Pornhub to get to, and life is short. So thanks. Open your eyes. I think it's Punisher is thingy, isn't it? Public annoyance. Yeah, thanks, Public. Thanks, Hassan, for jumping on the panel. It's good fun. Love you guys. Again, I think we should we should bring back some unity amongst these different fractured individuals. But I don't know how to do it. I'm unable to get these guys to talk to each other. Jupiter probably hates my guts at the moment. Thanks, great stream. Thank you, Angel. Love you, Angel. Thanks, Manny. Love you, Manny. And Victoria, Sam, big up Sam, my man. And Samadaga, love Samadaga. I think Samadaga has left. I don't know, he might have gone. Oh my god, Jupiter was in the chat. Athena, why do you pretend to be a big black man? What? Do you have a fetish, or are you converting to that big black? Oh my god, Jupiter is actually an admin here. Should I keep her as an admin? Questions. Should I keep her as an admin? Because things could go wrong. I don't know. I'll see. I hope she doesn't come back at me. I love you, Jupiter, and I love Hector. Give my best if you're still in the chat. Alright, guys. I guess just gonna have to end this. I honestly don't know how to end it. Oh, Simon. Oh, come on, Manny. You keep throwing shots now. Take my admin away, Banksy. I'm not. You will always be my admin, Manny. Cause I love you. I gotta give. Oh, maybe give Oneness an admin, huh? Here's a guy who's a big fan of mine. Oh, fudge me. Okay, boys and girls. It's Halloween Eve. Have yourself a wonderful Hallows Eve tomorrow night. Go out and trick or treat and get some kind of diabetes from all the sugars. I'm up subscribing after this anyway. Ah, no, Manny, no. No, what will I do, Manny? You'll never be. If you subscribe again, I'll admin you again, Manny. You will be forced to be an admin. Admin by force. Anyway, yeah, unsubscribe from this degenerate channel. Yes, guys, unsubscribe from this degenerate channel. I don't even know why the fuck most of you are here in the first place. That's the problem. Anyway, thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming. It's been awesome. It's been good fun. And to be honest, I'm just tempted to just leave the side chat running for the next couple of hours, and I'll just play some bunch of just this YouTube music back to back, because this side chat is hot right now. There's some burning fucking messages that are coming up. The side chat is more fun than the goddamn stream on this thing. I look better in a big... There's another shot. There's another jab from Jupiter. Jupiter, I'm sorry. Some truths came out, and I'm just going to say it. And I didn't want to say it. I wanted to just let it go. Number one, actually, good job you're here, because I want you to see this. This is my official response to your stream last night, which by the way, I appreciate the fact that you devoted about 7 hours to me. That is always a compliment. But my official response initially is this. First of all, let me play it again.
Of South Africa.
One of the mistakes which some political analysts make is to think that their enemies should be our enemies.
That's number one. And number two.
But for anybody who changes his principles depending on whom he is dealing, that is not a man who can lead a nation.
Exactly. So whether you like it or not, I will speak to who I wish, I will go on whoever's panel I wish, and I will make jokes about whoever I wish. And I'm sorry, Jupes, as much as I love you, as much as I love Hector, you're a grandmother you should not be wearing bikinis on the internet. It is not only cringe, it must be incredibly embarrassing for your children. And I'm sorry, I see you as my elder auntie figure. And on that level, it's just cringy as fuck for me. And that's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. You have passed the years of wearing bikinis, especially on the internet. Keep the bikinis in the bedroom and the full swimming trunk costumes for the public. That is my honest opinion, and I think that a woman of senior age should, stop dressing mutton as lamb. Stop dressing up mutton as lamb. Your time has passed, and you should just cover it. That's all I'm saying. And I see you as like an older auntie. I honestly do. Or, I wouldn't say grandmother or mother because we're not that much apart in age. But as an older auntie, I would, if my auntie dressed like that, even by the swimming pool, I would be horrifically embarrassed. That is my opinion. That is my honest opinion. You want the honesty? Here it is. I have exposed thyself. And that is, and as Matt Walsh says, I apologize for nothing. I retract nothing. I give no grounds. And I stand on my words. As they say, I stand on my testicles or on my ovaries or whatever the expression is. I don't know. I heard that lady, of Christ, I forgot her name, say it. Anyway, I think I've spoken too much already. The shitstorm that's going to come from this, maybe too much. All right, guys, catch me on Wednesday's podcast on Speakers Corner Online, the first Speakers Corner Online, and also go to Speakers Corner Online 2, where you will find a plethora. Hold on. Let me bring it up. Yeah. Go to Speakers Corner Online 2, where you will find a plethora of just crazy shit. Angel Moon has posted something recently by the looks of it. The wokies aren't gonna like this one, apparently. And there's just so many. There's just so many just gems on there. And not all of them are kosher for viewing on YouTube. I have certain rules I live by. My first rule, I don't believe anything the government tells me. Oh, love this man. Don't you just fucking love George Carlin? The man, just everything that comes out of his mouth was fucking gem. He was literally throwing pearls before swine. Yes, I endorse this information. I endorse this advice. What I live by, I have certain rules I live by. My first rule: I don't believe anything the government tells me. And I be honest, I've broken that rule myself. I've broken that rule. You all know I'm fully jabbed, so I have broken that rule even myself. But I still think the man speaks the truth. Facts, exactly, facts. Take your bikini. Oh, the bikini jokes. Oh, they're coming hard and fast now. A man speaks. Yes, yeah. Well, again, your opinion is your opinion, but to be fair, your opinions are like arseholes. Opinions are like arseholes. Yes, everyone has one, and that's just my take. So don't be upset. I mean, it's funny how people who say I can take a joke suddenly can't take a joke when the joke is about them. and the thing is, I know you and Hector have a bit of a tongue-in-cheek thing going on most of the time. I still think there's no reason for bikinis. Okay, fuck this. I'm laboring the point way too much. I'm out of here, guys. I'm looking for some music to play us out. It's Hallows Eve. Tomorrow is Halloween, so if you gotta, take your kid out to do some trick-or-treating, please be careful. The weather might be a bit bad, and generally just be careful in the dark. And enjoy whatever Halloween celebrations you guys going to have. Have some candy, dress up in costumes. Normally when I dress up in a costume, it involves a ball gag and a whip, but I may forego that this Halloween. I might put away the leathers. I don't know. See what I can discover in my dungeon. Oh man, I'm talking so much shit. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna play this. I don't know. I don't want to play this track. This track is it's boring. I don't like it. Don't like it. Let's see if I can find another track that is remotely. No. I'll play this. This is good. All right, boys and girls. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way out. Don't forget to go to Speaker's Corner Online and watch some of the crazy shit that is going down. Don't forget to just be yourself and be awesome. Because you're awesome. And you know you're awesome. And you live your best goddamn life. Live it. Live it, man. Because you only got this one. I know some of the Muslims think that they're going to go and chill with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But let's be honest. That's not guaranteed. And tomorrow is not promised. So live the day like it's your last. Dance like no one's watching. Read and learn like you're gonna live forever. All fucking quotes from great people. Have a good one. Peace.